Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some nice things from my brother on Facebook. Looked at them. So.
Oh, good. Gotta change everything.
And Kathy's not happy with the stereo in her car. She doesn't think it sounds good. And every 5 minutes or so, I just get a silence for half a second, maybe. And it drives her nuts. And, there, it did it again. It did it again. I said, it's not that awful. No one's pulled out your fingernails. Yes, it's, let me troubleshoot it. So.
Well, that's sad.
I got a feeling I'm going to have to turn that in and get a different stereo and rewire everything all over again. That's
See, what you should have done, Dan, is bought the stereo first and said, do you have a car to match the stereo?
Yeah.
That's what you should have done. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Don't let me forget to move the screen over. Hey, move the screen over. All right, here we go.
So I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, what's the continuing troubling trend in our airports? Also, this week in roller coasters, and how did over 10,000 people hit the North Carolina lottery this past drawing? And get ready for the moon wobble. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you feeling okay? Is the weather getting hot enough for you out there? I think the ground temperature over in the Pacific Northwest on the ground registered at 130 degrees, which is the hottest it's ever been. Floor temperature wise. And over to my far right hand side, we have IT Dan. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be back here in New York or North Carolina, whatever you call it.
I get the two confused because we got family that live up in New York, and we're always talking about New York. It's either Florida, North Carolina, or New York. In those three patterns, I don't really talk about in our personal conversations. We don't talk about any other states.
Okay. New York has the skyscrapers. Just try to remember that.
They do. Skyscraper. Now, Dan, you just came back from, not New York. Where'd you come back from?
I came back from Boston. I went there for 4 days.
And unfortunately or fortunately, was it a good trip, bad trip? How did it go?
Well, it was a bad trip, but it ended out well. I had to go up. My brother passed away from cancer.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I was able to be there and be in the room and stay with him so he didn't have to die alone. That was the good thing.
So he passed away while in your presence?
Yes. Yep. My nephew and I were in the room with him when he passed away.
I've never actually sat there and watched, not in a dark sense, I've never actually sat there and watched anyone pass away in front of me. I've seen people dying, but never that's it.
This is the second time, and it's not easy, but it's the right thing, and I felt better for doing it.
Now, Dan, do you travel a lot when you're semi-retired. Your profession is an IT guy. And what does IT stand for, by the way?
Information and technology.
So, and you're an IT guy, and that's what you do as a hobby / your part-time work outside of this show.
Yeah, and I don't do any of that. I don't travel for any of that. Travel in my car for places, but I don't fly on the planes for that or anything. Now,
the reason why I ask is because I've always... Anytime my wife and I go somewhere, whether it's Yellowstone or just a small trip to a 3-day getaway over to Georgia somewhere, we always get magnets, some kind of souvenir.
Oh, we do save some of those in T-shirts.
Now, what do you normally get? What's your main thing? Some people will get magnets. Some people will get a snow globe. Oh, look at my snow globe collection. Some people will get those little teaspoons. I don't understand the teaspoons thing.
No, I don't understand that. I like the little magnet that has the town that you're in.
Right.
Entering this town.
And shots. People get shot glasses. Oh, that's my shot glass from New Orleans. I had good times on that. I broke the first 3, so I bought another one. And then, shot glass or thimbles. I've even seen thimbles that people collect from other towns.
Yeah, and a lot of it, we just take a ton of pictures and pictures of every place we've seen, go there.
Yeah, but you can't put those up on your refrigerator or you can't showcase them in the house somewhere. Some people, like I said, the little teaspoons, they'll hang them up in the house and they'll have like an actual rack, like a spice rack, and they'll have all these little spoons, and you got to look at them and you're like going, oh, really?
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not those some people.
But they're not, they have no, I don't understand what the teaspoons, how I can see other stuff, like a shot glass. I can see that. I can see a magnet. I can see a t-shirt. I can see, what else? What else do they have out there?
I understand less things every day when people will do.
Now, my wife and I, we have two bulldogs. We have one that's 11 years old, and we have one that's 14 and a half years old, which is unheard of for a bulldog or anyone at that size, or a dog that size to live that long. And so she's an old lady, and my wife wants to get another dog. I'm like, no, wait. We got to focus our attention on these two old dogs, and make sure that they have all our undivided attention, and that everything goes well with them, on their way out. So I said, hold off on the dog. She's like, well, can I get a cat? Oh, yeah, sure. You can get a cat, because cats are kind of independent, and they don't require as much attention and stuff. So my wife and I went down to the Humane Society over here in Union County, and we adopted 2 cats. Now, of course, when she walked in there was probably maybe 24 cats in there, from older cats to kittens that are like 4 or 6 weeks old, and she wanted to take them all home.
Are they male and female?
They are male and female, and they are both from 2 different litters. I said, if you're going to get 2 cats, make sure you get a boy cat or a girl cat, or just 2 brothers or 2 sisters, or whatever the combination there are from the litter. So we went in there, and she looked at the cats, and the cats are all up on meow, 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 take me home to get me out of here. And then there's some cats that are just like, oh, here comes another human. Mm-hmm.
Well, cats are like that.
They are like that. So I said to my wife, I'm like, well, ask which cats came in together. And, of course, the lady comes in and goes, that one and that one. And, of course, one of them is the one that we want, and the other one we do not want because they were both rambunctious. I'm like, babe, can you imagine you with 2 rambunctious cats with your full-time job and what we do here on the ranch, and you taking care of all that stuff? Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We have 22-some-odd acres here. We have horses, chickens and cattle and dogs, and now we have more cats. We have 2 more cats. And I said, we got too much stuff going on. You need one that's going to be playful, and then one that's going to be, it's kind of docile, that you can just, like a lap cat, that's not going to paw at you or, dig their nails into you at the spur of a moment. So sure enough, we got 2 of them, and I'll post that over on the DeaconLive section. And the way you see that is go to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive, and you can see for every podcast we do, we also have matching video as well, as everyone's watching us live here. We'll probably cut the live stream off here. This is just a test so everyone can see us what's going on here. So we have the 2 cats, and the 2 cats are in the back bathroom. Not the back bathroom, on the west wing of the house. I know, baller, right? West wing of the house. They're locked up in there. They have their own bowl. They have their own thing. So we have 2 cats. 2 cats. One that's one is like an orange tabby. We call it Cheeto, and the other one is it's a calico. Cheeto's a boy, and then the other one's a long-haired gray calico, gray and tan calico, and her name is Trisket.
Okay, now the dogs aren't looking at these cats saying, oh, I'm on my way out now. They've got replacements for me. I only have a few more days.
No, the dogs are looking like, hey, this is my house, and they'll sit there, and they're bulldogs, so they go 0 to 60 in 2.3 days. They get, they can jump about 4 inches at a jolt, and then they're down, they're out, they sleep. But their bark is much worse than their bite. So she'll sit there, and we've got one of those spring-loaded gates in the hallway, so the cats can't get out, and the dogs will sit there and look through the gate, and they'll go.
Wait, I mean, the cats can't climb over a gate?
Well, they can, but the dogs, they need an escape thing. Actually, here's you ready for this?
I'm ready.
This is what actually happens. So those spring-loaded gates that I'm talking about, right? Yes. You widen them up to the width of the hallway. Now, the molding that we have on the bottom is a good 6 to 8 inch molding on the floorboards, okay? So the gate sits on top of the molding. So it's got a gap, a crawl space, if you may, underneath the gate that's about 4 to 6 inches tall. And so the cats can go up and under, but the dogs are too fat. They can't even get their head under it. So the cat's like teasing them, and then zoop, right underneath the gate and just kind of bounce around, and the dogs run up to the gate and kind of slide and bounce off the gate.
Okay. Well, it seems like it should be good. The cat should be safe then.
Well, the cats, they know it's a safe place, and that's where they can get to. So that's what I got. Now, Dan, you have cats? Do you have any animals or anything like that?
We have a stray cat, a black and white cat that sits on our porch and comes up to the door, and she will let my wife pet her. And then we have a bunch of stray cats in the neighborhood, and we have plenty of deer in our neighborhood.
Now, you had a dog. You had a dog at one time.
Yeah, we had a black lab named Katie.
Now, would you ever get another dog again? And if you did, I mean, I'm assuming you would go down in the Humane Society and grab one.
Yeah, we would get a rescue dog, but we'd want to get a big dog, 70, 80 pounds. But
Why do you want a big dog like that, Dan? Now, Dan, I don't want to say anything bad, but you are an older couple, and the older that you get, the smaller your dogs get.
No, not with me. We just watched a dog for 5 weeks now. Dog named Marley that was totally insane, and she was about 20 pounds, and just a crazy nutty dog. And when I went up to Boston, she would go and sit by the window downstairs and look down the driveway, waiting for me to come home. She did that for 4 days.
Now, see, a lot of people older people like to get smaller dogs because a couple things. One, they're small. They don't eat a whole lot. Two, they can pick them up and they can, if for whatever reason the dog got out of control, Dan, you could probably take it. A big 80-pound dog, Dan, I'm sorry. I know you're a man and all, but I think that 80-pound dog would take you down.
Yeah, we've always liked big dogs.
And then and the third thing is, am I on 3? I'm on 3. Is shedding. The big dogs shed a lot of hair, and so that just means more housekeeping for your wife, or for you, whoever does the housekeeping.
We both do it, but she usually does most of the vacuuming.
So that's why you see all these older people with little Chihuahuas and the Mitsuapsus or whatever, those dogs that don't shed. They always have to go to the hair salon and get their hair done.
Yeah, I always get a kick when you see a guy that's like 6'4" and 275 pounds and solid muscle and a wife beater T-shirt, and he's walking a little poodle that weighs about 10 pounds, and it just looking at that always cracks me up.
All right. When we come back, we'll dive deep into the show here. We're just getting started. Got lots to get into today. And this article that an ad that a woman put in the paper about how to get rid of her dog that she was fostering. And we'll dive into that here in just one sec. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
In about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Dan.
When I was putting the stuff in the box from my brother's house, some of my memorial stuff, and it was all just little things, nothing. I wasn't looking at things for value, things that I'd specific to him that he's used, and I'm thinking, hey, look at this swag.
Here comes the boss lady.
I hear a mower.
No, that's the side by side.
Oh.
Hold on, let me go tell her. Amy says hi.
Hi, Amy.
All right, I'm gonna stop the.
Oh, I told you about the people that invited us over for dinner, and we couldn't make it. We couldn't make it because I had to go to the airline flight, and they brought the food over, and I took one bite of it, and it had so much garlic in it. I said, I can't eat this. But imagine if you had gone at the dinner table and you sat there and go, oh, no, I'm good.
I thought you liked garlic.
No, I like garlic to a point. That's like you like to drink beer. Would you like to drink a 55-gallon drum all at the same time? Yeah, it's that.
Are you challenging me? Is that what you're doing, Dan?
Yes. I double dare you.
So one thing I forgot to do, I hit the start streaming, but I forgot to hit the record, so I have to go back. It's the story of my life here, Dan. I'm trying. This is all not new to me. It's just that I'm not following the normal patterns and steps that I normally take. I hit the start streaming, so everything's streamed. So I'm hoping that I could capture that stream and edit it into this part, which we're recording now.
I'm sure you can.
Thanks.
If not, you can download it from YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, YouTube I can get. All right, so we're going to talk about... Let's talk about the...
Didn't we talk about Subway last week?
We always talk about Subway because they always got something going on. Do you know the difference between fly spray and bug spray?
I would think the bug spray would be for crawling creatures.
Look it up. And play dumb when I ask.
We might have educated customers at the end of the day. It was good to be back to my video games.
Good. I want you to read the hellion. Article. We get into this here. Okay. Ready? Ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
You're going to lead into it, though.
Yeah.
And give me the screen so I can see it.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the social contacts, and while you're there, you can get yourself some free swag. We got some free stickers. We'll package them up, send them out to you. All you have to do is just click on that and tell us what package you want. And speaking of packages, over to my far right-hand side, I have IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And Dan just got back from Boston.
Yep, from the suburbs of Boston.
From the suburbs of Boston, and unfortunately went up there for good and bad reasons as well, and he's doing okay. I'm assuming that you are, right?
Yeah, things are still sinking in.
Okay. Now, my wife, something that I can't get my wife to sink into her brain is here on the French. Now, for those of you who don't know, we have 22 some odd acres, and a part of having 22 some odd acres with animals and stuff is flies. We have flies, and we have the little bug sprayers, or the little, they sell them for barns, and it's a small canister. Have you ever seen, like, Airwick has an aerosol can that goes into like an automatic machine, and every like 9 minutes it goes
Yeah, it sprays. I've seen them in restrooms too for air freshener.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Same concept. So we have one that does it for flies. So for every 36 minutes it goes and just puts this mist out. Now, whether it's getting rid of the flies or not, but we still get them in the house. Now, I went out to the store and bought just regular bug spray. You know, it says for spiders and ants. So we had a little ant problem for a while because the dogs their food was getting on the floor. Nobody was picking it up. So the ants, of course, like that sweet sugar that's in dog food, I'd spray the ant killer on the floor. So then my wife goes, "Oh my God, look at all these flies." And we were outside on the back porch. Look at all these flies around our shoes and stuff. So I grabbed the bug killer and sprayed like all the shoes. She's like, "That's not going to work." I'm like, "What do you mean it's not going to work?" She's like, "That's bug killer. That's not fly killer." And I go, or fly spray. And I go, "What's the difference? They're both, they both have an ecosystem or ectoskeleton on the outside." Well, no, you need fly spray for flies and ant spray for ants.
Yeah, there is a difference.
All right, yeah. But what's the difference?
Okay, well, the fly spray has more toxic chemicals in it, and it's meant to knock down the fly in air, whatever's flying around, and kill it immediately, where the bug spray is less toxic, healthier for the people in the house, and that's where the bugs walk through it to get it on their feet, and they eat it, and they eventually die. It's slower, but it's safer for the homeowner inside.
So you're saying if I spray if I had a group of flies, "Hi, help me," and I took fly or bug killer and sprayed it on the flies, they're not going to die?
I think they may die, but it may take longer, and most of the time you have the other spray because they're in midair and you're trying to catch them, knock them down while they're in space.
So what about wasp spray and fly spray? Can I do the both? Both on the same thing?
Do you want to have a show next week? That's the whole question. All this toxic chemical in your house.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I got a phone call. Hey.
Well, sorry to bug you, but I cannot find Trisket because it looks like the kitties got closed out of the back bathroom, and I think she's hiding somewhere.
I thought you closed them out of the back bathroom.
No, babe.
Yeah, I didn't know not close the. Hold on, babe. I didn't know that you. I thought you closed the door in there because you were leaving.
No.
You know, like you put the cats in that back bathroom and then shut the door.
No.
All right. The only thing I can say is open the bathroom door, and keep the dogs back there with you. Put the gate in the TV room.
All right. I looked all over. I can't find her even in the TV room. So I'm gonna check the laundry room now. I just wanted to let you know, or in case you saw her somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh huh. Bye.
You don't want to go down there and hang it?
Dan, let me tell you something. This is on air, but off air, but on record. So at night I take sleeping pills, so I can get a good night's sleep. I don't wake up in the middle of the night, and plus my shoulders were killing me, and I didn't want them to bother me. So I took 2. The second night we had the cats. Every 2 hours, she was in that back bathroom, checking on the cats, checking on the cats, checking on the cats. 3 o'clock in the morning, she checks on the cats. She comes running into the bedroom, clicks on the lights, big lights like this, on me in the bed.
Yeah.
Starts, and I've got earplugs in. Starts yelling at me. I can't hear shit. I'm like, what is going on? She's like, I can't find Cheeto. I can't find Cheeto. I'm like, okay, slow down. Slow down. She's got to be in the house.
They can be. They like to sit up on top of cabinets or different things.
He's in the house somewhere. Yeah. We go back in the bathroom, and I don't know if you remember our vanity for the bathroom that's in there.
Okay.
It's got it's old-fashioned drawers, and the drawers only go this deep because of the plumbing in the back. He crawled up and just sat up on the ledge behind the.
Yeah, they just find places. That's the
so
cats.
She's freaking out. She's like, the bathroom door's closed and I can't find Trisket. I'm like, I thought you closed the door so the dogs didn't get in there while you were down there. That made sense. That's where the cats stay. No, why would I close the door? Because of exactly what I just said. Well, I can't find her. All right, put the dogs on one side of the house, block them off. The cat will come out when it's done being a cat. You know.
No, they're in the house. They're somewhere.
The doors weren't left open, so.
Little dog Marley would disappear on us, be underneath our bed or on top of our bed or somewhere.
Oh, Jesus. All right. What were we talking about?
No idea.
All right. Sorry, that phone call totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, so my wife said fly spray, bug spray, and all that. It's not the same thing, and I'm like, it does the same purpose. One might take longer, one might not take longer. Now, I know that ant killer, this is my professionalism. Ants, you ever seen them? They follow a trail. It looks like they're on like the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
There's a pheromone that they secrete, so the ant behind them knows where they're going. And ant spray is designed to eliminate that odor, so they don't know where to go. So if you spray, like I always do this just to check it out. If you see a trail of ants going up the wall, just take your aerosol can and just spray a line right across the middle of it, and you'll see all the ants behind it will just not cross over it because it's poison, but just completely lose where they're supposed to go. Like you'll watch the chain kind of break down as the ants go crazy. Anyway, so there you go.
Yeah, and I mean, I use boiling water or use some.
You use a magnifying glass?
I used it when I was a kid. I did it. I wouldn't do it here because you just have red ants that are going to hurt you. Otherwise, I'd be doing it.
Now, this guy, speaking of red ants, this guy had turned red when he tried to rob a bank. Now, I know that I say robbing a bank in today's society seems like just like only on the movies, right?
Yep, that's all I ever see it.
Well, this gentleman right here actually robbed a bank. And what are the one things when you rob a bank you always look out for, or there's two things that when you're robbing a bank, they tell you to watch out for. They say one is the silent button, get your hand off the button. And the other one is what?
You want to watch out, make sure there's none of the exploding money packs.
And I thought that's just an urban myth as far as like that was a 90s thing or an 80s thing because everyone was like stealing money out of banks and they'd run and the paint would explode and boom. When's the last time you heard of someone robbing a bank and the capsule exploded in the die pack?
I do hear it on the news.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, this guy right here. A suspect bank robbery faces multiple charges after surveillance video of a dye pack explosion tips the community off and led to his arrest. This is in Newark, New Jersey. 27-year-old Newark man walked into a Capital One bank around 10 a.m. on July 3rd wearing a backpack and handed a note written on a withdrawal slip to one of the tellers, according to whatever. The note originally said, "I have a gun. Give me all your money from the register, please, and no one will get hurt." Well, at least he was polite about it. He walked out of the bank with $2,500. You think you could rob someone else for more than 20?
No, for the amount of jail time you get for robbing a bank.
Because that's a federal offense.
Yes.
Unbeknownst to him, a dime pack, the teller had slipped into the cash and actually was caught on surveillance video as the gentleman left the bank. Now, here's a video. For those of you who want to see this video, go to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive. For every podcast we do, we also have a matching video as well. Make sure all the sound's up. So this is a camera across the street from the bank. Now, you can see the Capital One Bank here in the left-hand corner. Let me blow this up. Can I blow this up? All right, let's try it. So there's no sound to this, so I'll just kind of explain it. It looks like a rainy day, or it just got done raining. The streets are a little wet. The windshield wipers are still going. And here comes the guy right here. He's got his backpack on. He's got a mask on. And now he's got this big plume of pink smoke coming out. And he ditches the money pack. Here it goes one more time. There he goes. Ditches it out. So, I mean, that's kind of weird that it's caught on tape, because the reason why they do the dye pack is for what?
Oh, that's so you're going to catch a lot of the criminals, and it's going to deter other criminals.
Now, that looked more of like a pink smoke than a dye pack, because a dye pack would go boom and coat all the money with the color dye that you can't get off, plus the guy himself that was covered in dye.
Yeah, it's going to work. It does its job. It's going to work good.
Okay, well,
my sister-in-law was working in a satellite bank. She was the only one there, and a woman came in and handed her a gun, handed her a note, says, "Give me all your money." And my wife looked at the note, my sister-in-law looked at the note, crumpled it up and threw it back, and she goes, "Not happening on my shift." And the girl came back and said, "They have my child. If I don't do this, they're going to keep my child." And so she told the girl, "If you're under duress, I'll give you the money, but you have to take off your sunglasses and your hat and look at the camera
so we can identify you."
And the girl did that. She was arrested within 20 minutes, and the FBI and the police came down and talked to my sister-in-law and said, "Kristen, treat bank robbers like the best customer ever. Do not do this."
Well, they always say, my wife or my life's not worth the money, right? So here's the video one more time so you guys can see it. A red dye pack explodes in the bank robbery. Now, here's the thing. He walked out with $2,500. O'Hara said the police has released the video. Oh, God, shut up. Let me turn that off.
Are you new here?
I am new here. 10 years doing this thing. Of course. I am thankful to the community members for responding to the request. Some tips regarding the identity of the whereabouts of the suspect. So they're still looking for him. And here's the video, just so you can see. Here he is. And look at it. It's just like it's starting to smoke. But it looks like he knew exactly what pack it was and threw that one pack out. I don't know.
Yeah, he reached in and grabbed it.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed that out of his pocket. Anyways. All right. Speaking of getting rid of something that you don't want, I say you don't want. This woman right here, a Houston woman, creates a comical expletive-filled
adoption page for hellion foster dog Hank.
All right. So this woman right here is trying to, she's fostered a dog, and she's trying to find the best comical way to have this dog adopted. Dan, you want to take this over?
Yeah, and she writes, "We're all tired of Hank. Not because we don't love him, we're just tired. It's like he drank all our coffee," the foster mom said on the adoption site she made for the dog. The foster mom of a 1-year-old dog named Hank is seriously ready for him to be adopted. The Siberian black-mouthed cur is currently up for adoption, and his foster parent, Christine Clowder, recently created a hilarious webpage to help Hank find his forever home fast. The site is entitled, "Please Adopt This Hellion," and features extensive information about the active pup. He knows all the commands such as sit, down, shake, and why you so effing mental. Stop chewing on that.
You can say bad words.
And get in your fucking kennel. He'll fucking stand between your legs while you're cooking and trip you while you're holding knives. He's 54 pounds of pure, unadulterated kinetic energy with eyes like the ocean. The adoption ad notes that Hank is loyal and neutered to keep others from being subjected from any of his hell spawn. But most of all, he has energy to burn. We're all tired of Hank. Not because we don't love him, we're just tired. It's like he drank all of our coffee, the note adds. That's hilarious.
Now, there you go, Dan. I said you wanted a dog that was like, what, 60, 70, 80 pounds? You could get Hank. You get Hank the dog. Now, let's see if I can pull up the picture here, if the internet's going to cooperate with me. And I'll switch screens here so we can all be friends.
I don't see anything.
I know I think she signed on to work, so everything's going to take a little bit longer for her. And People Magazine's got all these different ads.
Just try to picture a dog, 4 legs and a tail.
No, it's actually it's a Siberian black mouth cur, which is it looks like almost like a like Scooby-Doo, but a smaller dog, like a 60-pound version of Scooby-Doo. It's got the long black snout, the tan or golden short-haired fur. And he's just sitting there looking like, hey, what's going on? I'm a cool dog. I'm a best dog in the world, is what they're saying. So there you go. There's Hank, if you want to adopt him. This is over in, did it say where it was at? In Houston. So if you're in the Houston area, you want to adopt the hellion, Hank the hellion, go ahead and adopt him. You just have to have a lot of patience for it.
I like that. That was nice.
That was nice. All right, when we come back, we'll dive into the show. And are you guys hungry? Are you tired of your job? Are you hungry and you're tired of your job all in the same sentence? We'll dive into that here when we come back. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't mind reading those news stories because I know you get a little dyslexic and stuff.
Well, not only that, I'm thinking about that and thinking about.
Yeah.
She panics over the. I'm like, hey, you wanted these fucking cats?
Did you stop recording like you're supposed to here?
No, I always leave this running. But what I forgot to do when I was talking about the money, I forgot to switch this screen. This screen, because you couldn't see the bank robbery on this screen, and this is our We'll Be Back screen. So I wanted to play it one more time so you could see it on the video. Got it?
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah, it was funny when Kristen, and she's she's like 5'4", 120 pounds, but she doesn't take crap from anyone. I have a nephew that's driving cross country on his motorcycle. He's in Colorado now, and he's going whichever way he feels like going. Different, In the yellow pages, Google found it.
So all that panic, everything, she could have just waited another 5-6 minutes and found her.
No, she's still working today. She just took a break for that.
Yeah, she had to sign on at 1 o'clock. Oh, under the couch.
In the library with a candlestick? No, that's a different game.
I don't know if I spelled cooch or couch. Under the gray cooch, under the gray couch.
I never knew what a cur was, and I was watching Tombstone, and they called somebody a cur, and I had to look it up. And
What's a cur?
It's a dog.
I should have just looked this up right here. Yeah, see? It looks like Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay.
Long snout, gray.
Yeah, we had a dog that was a pit bull mix, and all the dog wanted to do was play ball all day long. You could throw the ball, and didn't matter. He'd run forever. He'd never tire out. Just wanted to play ball all the time. I think by the time I was 20, I would not go on a roller coaster again.
she's got me so fucking flipped around now.
I think that's their like job, isn't it?
I know, but I mean, you should see her if she's on a phone call, and I'm in the quiet room, and my phone accidentally, I click on a video and it blows up. She throws things at me, Dan. She's like, "I'm on a fucking call." And I'm like, "Sorry." But I'm in the middle of a show. Hey, there's a cat loose in the house. I can't seem to find him. Are you cool enough in here?
Yeah, I'm done. Here comes so.
All right, so we're going to talk about $1 million or million sandwiches, unhappy meal,
The unhappy meal is different than We All Quit. Okay. Because that was Burger King. I told somebody when we're getting on the plane that the flight on my plane was Snakes on a Plane. That's what they were showing.
the flight on your plane was...
That was the movie.
The movie, oh.
Yes, sir. Let me know if you want me to read it.
I will.
What are these Jason lesson don't play?
They're that's all my audio files.
Yeah.
And what I do is I take the track and I'll drag it over, and that's how I get on my commercials. So I'll open up the track with all my commercials and stuff, and I'll drag them up there, and it automatically puts them in for me instead of me clicking on different windows to.
Okay, but those are all commercials for you?
Yeah, well, for the Profit Radio station.
Oh, okay.
If you want, so you feel better. This is all the stuff for DeaconLive.
Oh.
It's all the sounds, like when you hear in the commercial breaks and stuff. This is all where I get it from.
Yeah, those are playing, but that one was like Jason this and Jason.
That's my friend who passed away.
Yeah.
He used to call me like every Friday or whatever, and we'd sit there and bullshit, and I'd just record it 'cause I thought he was funny. Yeah. And so I said, I'm going to use these on the radio station. He goes, do you mind? I go, fuck no, I don't care. So those are like the last things I had of him. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. He did it to himself. His wife died, and then his girlfriend committed suicide, and then he just spiraled out of that.
Yeah, you look at it.
All right, here we go. Let's come back with this. Welcome back to DeaconLive. You want something for free? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free, and the way you get something free from DeaconLive is go to Profit Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on DeaconLive, or click on the free swag section and fill out the little form. We got magnets, we have stickers, we have a whole bunch of different packs and stuff for you. Just fill out the little form. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I've said that a million times. We just sent out, I think, 230 envelopes the other day with a whole bunch of stickers on it. And speaking of helping me send all these stickers out, over to my far right hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
Yeah, I'd work for less money if I don't have to do that again.
Well, you were here, and I appreciate all your help. You were here the other day, and you were licking all the envelopes. I'm like, Dan, why are you licking all the envelopes? I said, just get a wet sponge and just put the sticky part on the sponge.
Oh, that glue makes you feel good. After about 10 envelopes.
Well, were you hungry after that, or were you pretty much full?
No, all I was thinking about was a Seinfeld episode when George's fiancée died from the glue on the envelopes.
Oh, really?
That was one of the episodes.
Well, I know that they say that for every time you lick an envelope, I think it's like 0.001 calorie. So you probably you did about 230 envelopes, so you have probably like 0.2 calories that you've ingested.
Yeah, and I had trouble driving home, but I was okay.
Okay. Well, speaking of getting something for free and being a couple calories in the same sense, Subway, our friends over at Subway. I know Dan says, you always talk about Subway. I'm like, every week they're in the news and they're trying to get themselves to be up and coming and trying to battle with all these other companies that have got larger bank accounts than they do. Subway is giving away 1 million sandwiches. And here's how to get one, Dan. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We all love free samples. But what about a free sub? We promise we're not pulling your leg, as the article mentions. Subway plans to give away 1 million 6-inch sandwich subs for free to more than 10,000 of its locations on Tuesday, July 13th. Oh, that was yesterday. Sorry, guys. You might want to check them out now, see if they got anything left. The global sandwich empire reportedly offered this special promotion as part of his Eat Fresh Refresh campaign. And now, for those you don't know, they were having problems with the tuna, saying that the tuna is not tuna. I just read an article the other day that said, yes, it is tuna. We're completely revamping our whole entire, the way we do our menu, the way we do our veggie cuts and our meat cuts. But yes, the only thing we're not changing is the tuna, because tuna is what they're saying.
Okay. Do you think if Subway wasn't the only store within a 20-mile radius of you, we wouldn't be talking about it?
There's not any stores within a 20-mile radius of us. You have to go 25, and then maybe you get I think there's a Bojangles. Are you familiar with Bojangles?
As far as Bojangles is concerned, Kathy and I went to Arby's, and we looked across the street, and they were putting a building up, and it had 2 round arches on the top of it, not like McDonald's arches, but 2 arches, and we're looking at it and go, what kind of store are they put in there? Nobody knew. Nothing on Google. Then I went and looked at fast food restaurants. They're putting a Bojangles in there, but there's already a Bojangles about a block down the street. So I think they're just going to, tear down the old one.
It's like Lewis Black says, I walked in the Starbucks, and I know when I cross the street, I know when I look up, there's not going to be another Starbucks. And I looked across the street, and there was another Starbucks.
Yeah, there were 4 in one corner. I think it was Florida.
Yeah, and he was talking about the ones up in New York. Now, do you go through the drive-thru at all, Dan?
Yeah, sometimes. But.
Now, do you check your order before you leave the drive-thru, or you just kind of put it in their trust? Now, all the restaurants now want $15. I saw McDonald's themselves were offering $20 here in Rowan County to start. $20 an hour to start in Rowan County. And where's Rowan County in comparison to us, Dan?
Just a little farther north, maybe 45 miles from here.
Now, do you think that neighborhood is prominently middle class, lower class, upper class?
It's a mixture.
Is it? But they're offering $20 to start. And it didn't say, like, managers. It said fry cook. It said cashiers, starting at $20 an hour to start. Now, if you get do you trust the people when they give you your food?
Usually I pull over just because I'll find out they didn't put the ketchup in.
Now, I'll stick my hand in there. If I say I ordered 2 sandwiches and fries, I stick my hand in there and go, okay, there's sandwich 1, there's sandwich 2, and then there's a fry. I don't sit there and open. Amy will. My wife will. She'll open it up and go, God damn it, pickles, no pickles. I want it, and complain, everything like that. Well, this over in Auburn, Maine, a Maine woman was unhappy when she found her son's Happy Meal. What she found in her son's Happy Meal. Dan, you want to read this for me right here?
Yeah. An employee at a McDonald's restaurant in Auburn, Maine, is accused of illegally selling prescription drugs to another employee who then unknowingly dropped them into the boy's Happy Meal. WCSH reported.
You don't have to read those parts right there?
Yeah.
Just pretend like we wrote the article, okay?
Okay.
All right. And I'll cut that part out. Go ahead.
Okay. According to a Facebook post by the Auburn Police Department, Michael Savay, 43, of Turner, and Maria Grant, 29, of Auburn, were arrested. Savay was charged with unlawful possession of Schedule W drugs, a misdemeanor. Grant was charged with unlawful trafficking in Schedule W drugs, a felony. Imagine that.
Now, I've heard Schedule 1, Schedule 2. What's Schedule W?
That I do not know.
Take a second or two and look that up and see what Schedule W drugs is. Because to me, I know that they say, for example, if you take your husband or your wife's pills, or even like your child's pills, and you get popped for a drug test, and you go, well, I tested positive for whatever that's illegal. And they go, well, do you have a prescription for that? And they go, no, I took my husband's or my wife's or whatever, or my mom's or my dad's. That is illegal itself, taking medication that is not prescribed for you.
Yeah. And Schedule W drugs have certain amounts of heroin, cocaine, oxycodone, or methamphetamines in them. That's what Schedule W is.
Schedule W, this guy had a prescription from somewhere of something that contained one of those, or if not a combination thereof.
Yeah, but the person wouldn't have dropped them in the bag by mistake if they hadn't already taken a couple of them.
Think about this. I'm going to say Antonio because that's I'm just pulling it out of the air. Antonio's got like 3 Happy Meal boxes sit up there. You know, it's got the little arches on it. It's a little box, and you kind of close the lid on it. And he's like, all right, this one's for Tyrese when Tyrese gets here. I'm going to get this to Tyrese. And then Julia comes over, not knowing that Antonio stuck the pills in Tyrese's Happy Meal, fills the box up with a hamburger and stuff, and hands it to little Timmy, who just pulled up with his mom from Auburn. Where are they from?
Auburn, Maine.
Auburn, Maine, and hands it to him. And Mommy goes, oh, look at that. My special toy, my Happy Meal toy is a rattle. It's a rattle. Look at it. Whee! Rattle, rattle, rattle. And the mom goes, holy Christ, what's this? And then...
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, if I lived in Auburn, Maine, I'd probably be taking drugs, too.
Now, have you ever seen the movie... I'm dating myself way, way, way back. It's called Loverboy.
No.
With Patrick Dempsey, when Patrick Dempsey was like 18 years
And
old.
he had the real curly hair.
He had the real curly hair, and he worked for a pizza delivery company. And there was a guy that was like his friend that worked with him that was like, hey, man, you know, I don't do it for the pizza. I do it for the ladies. And he's like, what are you talking about? He goes, they have a certain code. And when they ask for extra anchovies, that's me. Extra anchovies. Because extra anchovies means they're not eating the pizza. They're taking the sausage. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So he started doing that and getting the extra anchovies. And so that was the key word. We want extra anchovies on the pizza. Extra anchovies. And so that was the big code word. And of course, one lady actually wanted extra anchovies, and he showed up as a stripper, and he was like, get out of here. You know, so it's...
Oh, okay.
And the mayhem ensued.
Good old 1980s movies.
Classic 1980s movie. You should look it up. It's called Loverboy with Patrick Dempsey. Now, speaking of 1980s movies, you ever eaten at Burger King, Dan?
Yes.
Do you like Burger King?
I like how they used to be with the flame broiled burgers.
What do you mean how they used to be?
Now they're all cooked somewhere else, and they have marks on the meat.
But they still run them through. They still run them through.
No.
There's a fire. They don't microwave them, Dan. I've seen the little fire. It's got this chain link tray that runs through the fire, and it just
not at the one in Albemarle.
Well,
I
not
went
that one, maybe.
I went through hoops, and I had them cook me 4 meals, and they were all awful.
Well, if you want to hear those stories, you can go back to past podcasts where Dan was talking about that. Now, in Lincoln, Nebraska, employees and general manager at a Lincoln, Nebraska Burger King all said, we quit. Admit the deteriorating work conditions and use the restaurant sign, the marquee out front, to let everyone know. Dan, read this for me, what it says.
Yeah, it says, we all quit, the sign at the burger said. Sorry for the inconvenience. Rachel Flores, who had served as general manager since January, had put in her 2 weeks' notice, and 8 other employees also did, shortly before deciding to post the message on the sign. We have gone through so many district managers since I've been GM, she said. No one has come to the store to help me out. They're so in and out. And they're showing a picture of the sign that says, we all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience.
So are they doing like, they're giving you the middle finger and then kind of like, sorry, you know, I feel bad for giving you the middle finger, because that's what they're saying. We all quit, middle finger, and then sorry for the inconvenience. I would have said, fuck that, get me some help in here or something.
Yeah.
Or blame someone else, because that's the way the sound sign reads.
I think they genuinely felt sorry for their customers.
Flora said the restaurant is short-staffed and she would end up working 50, 60 hours a work week. Come on, you're a general manager or manager. That's you're expected to. You're the head of the ship. She said at one point they did not have a working air condition. Now I would leave after that. In the kitchen, where temperatures could reach 90 degrees. Flores had to go to the hospital after becoming dehydrated. Dan, you know that feeling.
Yep,
so.
I've gone through that a few times.
Employees had joked Friday about putting up a message, and on Saturday, they put up on the message on one side of the billboard. We wanted to put up a sign to say, you know, sorry, it's really not going to be anyone here. Just kind of laughed as a laugh to upper management. That got put up on Saturday just before we opened. They didn't think anyone was going to notice because we did it one side of the sign. So there you go. So now it got posted on Facebook. Flores's boss was fired later that day. The location is still open, and Burger King did not comment on that as well. So, I mean...
Yeah, and I mean, I guess nowadays you can get hired at any other place for $20 an hour.
Yeah, I mean, you have the actual benefit. The cards are in your court. The ball is in your pocket.
You have leverage.
You have leverage. And you can go and say, like I said a while back, there was a Taco Bell, and right next to that was a Bojangles, and right next to that was a Sonic. And every single one of them said, now hiring. Yeah, and it's like, you just sit there and go, okay, 3 restaurants right here. I mean, literally within walking distance, door to door of each other. Who's going to hire me for the most?
Yeah, we have probably 20 stores along the strip in Albemarle, and all of them are help wanted.
Well, that's crazy. All right, when we come back, we'll get into the show a little bit more. And you guys, are you a roller coaster fan, Dan?
I haven't been on one in years.
Now, with everyone, now it's the summertime, and everyone's getting back out there, and we're all being, now granted, there's Delta virus and segments of ligaments of variations of the COVID-19 virus, and people are getting out there, and they're getting into like your theme parks and those places that pop up in parking lots. Well, this was a bad week for everyone in general riding on roller coasters, and we'll dive into that when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Imagine taking scheduled drugs and then going on scheduled W drugs and then going on.
My friends in high school, we used to, I say we used to, I never did because I was a good boy. They used to do acid all the time and go to Disney World. We always had friends of family members of everyone in Florida. You're 3 points from knowing someone that works in the park. Because Walt Disney World was the largest employer in Florida. I mean, I think they employ 80,000 people.
Now or back then, or both?
Even now.
Oh,
I mean, they're one of the largest employers. So you're within 3 degrees of knowing someone that works at the park. I know that one lady, she worked there for, I think, 35 years, and every year you get 2 free passes, 2 free passes, 2 free passes, 2 free passes. So she just accumulated all these passes, and she would, give them to her family and friends, and the family and friends would come up, let's go to the park. No, we've been to the park. You guys go to the park. You guys enjoy the park. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I can't see enjoying if you're there all the time, but I've never been to any of the Disney or...
Really?
Ripley, believe it or not, I went there. The excitements. And Wally World. I went to Wally World. No, Chevy Chase went to Wally World. That's right.
Are you you feel good about reading articles like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind at all. I just don't know. You have in your mind what part you want me to read, and
right, and I'll highlight it and stuff. Just keep reading until I'll cut you off. Try not to. If it says the police says, the whatever county police department, we need the facts. I don't need to know who's reporting back to us. So when it says, according to People News, according to whatever, just eliminate those because we want it to sound like it's ours that we did the research.
We were the reporters.
Not that we are the reporters, but we did the information. We did essentially we took all the files and created this article for us to read to them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that does make sense.
All right, where are we at? 36? Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
We'll do the we'll do the roller coaster, and then we'll do your IT report.
Okay. Promise me no Subway next week.
Why do you say that?
No, I'm just... A friend of mine had Subway. He said he would sell about 600 sandwiches a day. Didn't know they used to cut them at an angle and then put the piece of bread up back on the top. Do they still do that?
They used to cut out the top to make it like a pocket.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They just cut it in half and flip it open.
I like my subs rolls toasted too. Like you go to Greek places and it's heated up. That's like my hot dogs. Put them in the bun and cook them after.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for all the musical guests or the musical artists that you hear on Deacon Live, there are individually or independently owned. They are unsigned bands, and we support them and show them some love as well. And the way you do that is go to profitradio.com, and you can see all the songs and the music that's being played here on Deacon Live. Show them some love as much as you showed us some love as well. Now, over to my far hand side, speaking of showing love, is IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great this afternoon.
Doing good. All right. Good. Now, Dan, are you a fan of roller coasters? Now, with everyone being released out in the public, and you've got all these little, like, we used to have the Strawberry Festival, we used to have Pioneer Days, and everyone's got, like, some kind of roller coaster. And when I was working for the production company, we would have to go and set up all, like, these events, and you know, it's a traveling circus. You know, you got these morons that are high on meth and scheduled W drugs that are putting these things together, and then they're there for 2 weeks, and then they break everything down and they move to the next town. Are you a big fan of roller coasters?
I used to be a big fan when I was a kid, and I'd ride on them, scared to death of them. But right now, one of the great advantages of being old is all I got to do is get out of my chair really fast, and I get that same excitement, the same adrenaline as a roller coaster.
Now, I told you I worked for Universal Studios when Islands of Adventure first opened up, and one of the things that the park would do, we had Dueling Dragons, which is no longer there anymore. They also had the Hulk coaster. They would have to, by law, run the coasters for 30 minutes prior to opening. So they would just run them with nobody on them, and they would come in and then and take back off again. So every time if I had to do an opening shift, I would get there an hour early and jump on the roller coaster and just literally like sit there and like read a book or listen to my headphones and just ride the thing for a half hour. You know, come into the port and then and just ride it until I had to be on my spot for the fireworks.
Yeah, and I had those headphones. Oh crap, I can't think of the name of them. The headphones you put with your phone.
I have no idea.
Virtual reality headphones. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the virtual reality headset, and they
Wait,
had
hold on. They're called VR headsets for all
Okay.
the kids out there.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, I had the VR headset, and they had a roller coaster, and that even bothered me. It felt like I was falling out of my chair.
Now, speaking of falling out of your chair, this is a scary situation. So if you want to see this video, if you've never seen a video here on Deacon Live, this would be the time to see it. Now, this is a scary situation over in Traverse City in Michigan. There is a ride it looks like a big platform, right? Let me describe it to you. It's a big platform, and everyone sits on it and faces like out. So it's like almost like you're sitting in a movie theater.
Okay.
And the platform has a counterbalance on the other side. So the platform will go up and around in a circle clockwise and then come back around, up, around, counterclockwise, and you're sitting in it just going up and down in this big circle.
It's a pivoting.
It's a pivoting thing. So this happened over on July 9th, this past weekend, in Michigan. I want you to watch this video, Dan, and describe exactly what's going on. And for those of you who want to watch this video, go to profitradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and for every podcast we have a matching video that you can see this as we're talking. So here you go. There's a little bit of noise, but you can see what's going on. So it's going up. You see right here? Watch this right here. See it coming up off the ground?
Oh yeah, the whole base of the unit is tilting backwards off the ground.
And everyone's running up to it and grabbing a hold of it, trying to put their weight on it and pull. They're pulling on the fence.
Oh, and you could get seriously hurt trying to help somebody. Pretty brave people helping out.
They're already trying to shut the ride down. Now this is called what's it called? The Magic. Can you make that out there? Let's see if I can back this up so we can see what it is.
Mistake Mountain, I think.
Mistake Mountain. Magic Carpet is what it's called. So all the patrons there's Coach. He's not there. Yeah. But look how far look how high it's coming up off the ground. That's about 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I think I got to give credit to these people, the bystanders coming by and risking themselves to save people's lives.
Yeah, putting the weight on the front to counterbalance the counterbalance that wasn't strapped to the ground. So everyone's, woo, no way.
Yeah,
Michael, get out of there, Michael!
Yeah. Yeah, those are heroes holding on there.
How many people do you think there?
I'd say 15 people probably went in there.
So 15 times 200, that's an extra 3,000 pounds.
Yep, it does add up.
But that's, I don't know. When you and this is like one of those in the park or in the parking lot type thing out of like an old abandoned Sears or something like that. My wife saw one the other day as we're driving around through Monroe. She's like, "Oh, look, I love going on those things." I'm like, "Babe, do you understand how these things are put together? I mean, they're up and down in 2 weeks, so I love going to them." Well, no.
Yeah, and I know how I can forget one bolt when I'm putting something in a car.
Or, when you get done with something, you got extra bolts or something. So here's something that was caught on camera. You know where Carowinds is at, right?
Yes, I've been there.
Now, describe what Carowinds is for all the people like on the West Coast and stuff. What is Carowinds here in the Carolinas?
It's one of the biggest amusement parks. It's a nice place to go on a hot summer day.
It's a permanent amusement park. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and it's hot as hell there.
What do you mean it's hot as hell there?
Oh, you go there, it's just dying. Everything's out in the sun.
There's no shade?
No, I melted when I went there. The ride wouldn't kill me. The heat was going to kill me.
So, caught on camera, empty stroller gets caught on a Carowinds ride. And for more of this part, we'll go to WSOC. I always have a problem saying that because it doesn't roll off the tongue. For more information. And make sure that we have this on. There we go.
Thrill-seeking time there, but some of the riders got a little extra excitement over the weekend.
Take a look at this.
Literally picked up the stroller.
So it's one of those airplane rides or where everyone's on a chair connected to like chains and they spin them around.
Yeah, and you have centrifugal force forces you outwards.
Yeah. So I guess it nabbed one of the strollers.
Wow, those people can be relieved now, but it was scary in that moment. This is a ride called Mountain Gliders, and it picked up a stroller as it
Oh, did you see the
around
baby go
yesterday
flying?
And
No,
whipped
it wasn't a
around
baby.
the ride. Well, thankfully, that stroller was empty, but it did take some time before it was finally knocked off. Well, thankfully, no one on the ride or on the ground was injured during all this. That ride was quickly shut down and inspected, but then was back up and running for the remainder of the day.
I think someone prematurely started the ride. All right, let's get little Timmy on the thing. I don't want to get on Timmy, shop. You're getting on the ride. And Dad puts him in the ride and walks away. And then Mom goes, "Hey, John, where's the stroller?" Shit, the ride's going. And I'm sure it just swung around and picked it right up.
Yeah, they just didn't move the stroller out of the way.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, speaking of not dying on a ride, this woman right here, a woman died after riding a roller coaster, suffered a torn artery, and severe blood loss, is what the coroner found after they did the autopsy on her. Now, I've ridden roller coasters. Now, I've never been a big fan of roller coasters until I started working for Universal Studios, but I would have panic attacks. I would literally in line have panic attacks, and I felt like I was going to pass out. People are just drink water. Oh yeah, I'll be fine. It wasn't until I started going to Busch Gardens. Now Busch Gardens has a hospitality house. You know what a hospitality house is, right?
No.
All right, Busch Gardens is run by Busch Beer,
Okay.
all that. So the hospitality house will actually let you have free samples because they produce a lot of the beer and stuff there. It's Busch Gardens, Busch Beer.
Oh.
So it's
Like a wine tasting place.
it is. So I would go and get a couple quote unquote free samples before I would get on the ride. It would mellow me out, and I'd ride the ride, and I'd be fine. Unfortunately, this one right here, I don't know if she had an underlying condition. A woman who died after riding a roller coaster suffered a torn artery, severe blood loss. Like I said, the coroner found. In Brunswick, Ohio, a coroner has determined the cause of death for an Ohio woman who passed away on a roller coaster in Indiana theme park and later died. Read this for me, Dan.
Yeah. Don Jankovic, 47, and his 17-year-old son took a trip to Holiday World Splashing Safari in southern Indiana.
And I'm assuming that's a permanent park as well.
Yes, and they were riding on the Voyage, a wooden roller coaster, when Jankovic lost consciousness. She was found unresponsive when the roller coaster returned to the station.
Paramedics with Holiday Ward responded to render first aid only within minutes later, according to the park's officials. They took her to the hospital in Jasper, Indiana, where she died.
Yeah, and the Du Bois County Coroner's Office said she died from exsanguation and evulsion of the thoracic artery, which in English means she suffered severe blood loss and tearing of the artery in her chest. And the death was ruled accidental.
So I've heard of people, and can you imagine that? I guess the jarring and turning and moving around, I guess she tore an artery in her chest. Is that how I'm reading it?
And I mean, it's possible if you're someone who doesn't get that kind of exercise, you don't move around much. And I mean, there's probably an underlying heart condition, maybe something that was a tear that she had in an artery, that she didn't notice, and that just, that was the weak spot.
Now, have you ever you ever been to a chiropractor, Dan?
Yes.
All right. Now, there was a stretch there between, I think, like 2016 to 2018, where chiropractors were being the center of attention because they were adjusting people and they were adjusting their neck and stuff, and not knowing that, I guess they moved the neck muscles just right. They would tear an artery like up in the neck and the collarbone area, and the person would go home, thank you very much, I feel good, and drive home, and then within hours later, they didn't realize that they actually cut or ripped that artery, and they bled out and died like hours later.
Yeah,
and the only thing they associate it with is they just went to the chiropractor.
And there was a girl that was hit with a hockey puck. It hit in the head. They brought her to the hospital, checked all these went through every single possible test. She died that night. The whiplash effect broke an artery in the back of her neck that they couldn't detect. I mean,
And she just bled out inside.
Yeah, and she just had a blood clot from that afterwards. And after that, in hockey games, they have the netting now, so the puck can't hit,
Can't hit what?
Can't hit fans.
The audience?
Can't hit fans.
You're talking about that 6-foot plate glass bulletproof
No.
all around the whole arena? It's not good enough. I got to put a net on this little.
I've been to hockey games. There's plenty of times they come flying over the glass, but they've someone takes a slap shot that you got a frozen puck that's 3 inches by 1 inch coming at you.
Now you keep saying a frozen puck. Isn't a puck just like almost like the essential of like a car tire tread just pressed tightly?
Yeah, it's a solid rubber. It's much harder plastic, but the reason they have to freeze it, if you put it on the freezing ice and you have a puck that's not frozen, the puck's not going to slide along. It's going to bounce and wobble all over the place. That's why they have coolers full of pucks. And about every 2 minutes, they'll go in and grab a new puck and throw it on the ice and get rid of the old one.
I think Tom Brady had a cooler full of things that were inflating and deflating.
We don't want to go there.
We don't want to go there. We're not big sports fans. All right. When we come back, IT Dan, we're going to be up to speed with technology coming up next. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I thought you said you wanted me to read it, and you started reading.
Well, I just
you
kind of
wanna hand
bounce.
it off?
Yeah, just kind of bounce it back and forth.
So you have no real plan for your life. Yeah.
I got lots of plans.
Okay.
I just don't like the big words because I stumble over them, and when I stumble over them, I panic. And when I panic, then that's when my
Okay, we're going directly into that.
Yeah, I'll talk about the cats real quick. Forgot which one I just brought up. Yes. I'll talk about what what happened with the cats, real quick, and then give me a beat, and then you can go. Let me get your. Are you gonna go in order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Law and disorder.
See, I need to make one of these for you. See how I'm in the center and you're up here. I I need to make another thing here for IT Dan and that way it's kind of like this, so it's your moment.
Okay. Next week?
Yeah, next week. I'm not doing it now. I guess I could leave it right here for now. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to DeaconLive. You want to be heard? Everyone wants to be heard. And you do as well. And the way you do that is go to prophets.com, PROPHET radio. Click on the little blue bar. It says Be Heard. And what it does is open up a microphone on your tablet, on your computer, on whatever device that you're listening to us at. And you can leave a voice message. It comes right to our inbox. And you can ask us anything about anything from past podcasts, current podcasts. If you get it in now, we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. And that's the Be Heard section. And also being heard over on my far right side is IT Dan.
Yeah, good afternoon.
And right now we're going to do Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Good afternoon. I know almost everyone has a Wi-Fi router, and what people don't realize is that there's 14 channels on that router that you can change from. If you're in an area where there's a lot of people and you're getting interference, you can change from 2 to 3 to 4.
Now I've got a wireless router.
Yeah.
I've got what do I have, Dan?
You have a Netgear
Nighthawk.
which is one of the best ones.
And it's got a 4.2 and a 5 point whatever.
Yeah, 5.1 gigahertz.
So I don't understand the difference between that.
Well, if you were in a place that was, well, it's higher speeds, but if you were in a place that, an apartment building, and you had 85 people that are all on the same channel, you can get interference between them. So you can switch to channel 2, channel 4, channel 6. But what they don't realize is there's a couple channels that are banned in the United States. Channel 12 and 13.
Is this like CB radio? They're banned?
Yeah, they have different bands. I mean, BANAD. They're not allowed. They're illegal. That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
And so there's different channels you can go to, but 12 and 13 you can only go on low power because those are used for satellite phones. But channel 14 is banned in the United States. You can actually change your router to 14, but it's illegal in the United States. You kids, don't do this. And that's the frequency that microwaves work at, 2.54 gigahertz.
So you're saying that I can, if my internet wireless goes down, I can hook up my microphone to the internet or my microwave to the internet?
No, but you can. It's the same frequency as a microwave, and it's not known whether the signal affects the microwave or vice versa. But that's one that they use for military. So it's just something you can't use that band. That's
So
all.
I think they actually said, when I opened up the Nighthawk thing, it said don't have this next to a microwave. And that would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, it would be a different frequency. I don't think anything should be next to a microwave, probably.
Or next to your router, I would
Yes.
say.
Yeah, keep it away from that.
So how many, I guess, is it like a CB radio? Like there's channels 1 through, like Breaker 19? There's
Yeah, it has different. Everything is broadcast on different frequencies. Television stations, satellite dish, all the programs.
And you're saying
get.
14 is banned?
Yeah, 14 is banned. So
And it's only allowed in Japan?
in Japan for some strange reason.
Maybe the military government,
Yeah. Next time we're over there, we're going to have to ask them.
All right. Maybe we can talk them into a road trip for Deacon Live.
Oh, okay. And then this next thing I want to bring up is browser fingerprinting. And can you block it? Well, websites, when you go on a website, you've all heard of cookies where that one website will track you. But browser fingerprinting is a way that can identify you, and it can tell what browser you're using, what computer you're using, what chips are in your computer, all these different things, and they can come up with a unique fingerprint. And what they use this mostly for is gathering information about you so they can uniquely identify you, just like a fingerprint, and they can use that, and they're going to sell you items. I don't know how many times I've gone on I've looked at something, and then everywhere I pop up, that item is showing up everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing. Like if I search for something like at Home Depot, all of the ads choice is where I see it a lot. You see ads choice, and it always has like closeout or something like that. But it's whatever the last couple things that I've searched for, like in the windows and stuff. We see it all the time here on Deacon Live. Now, can they use this CSI style? Like they can like if you do a crime and then you send an email or send something like that out, is that kind of the same thing?
No, this fingerprint will uniquely identify you. It won't tell them who you are, where you live. It's just going to tell this person who has this unique fingerprint likes to shop, at Amazon.com, or he was looking at lawnmowers last week. So and you really can't block this, because there are programs that will block it, but they also won't allow you to get on websites if you don't have it.
So you have to accept the fact, and I guess that would be listed somewhere in the terms and agreements when you click on, if you sign up for something.
And you all have a unique fingerprint. So when you're browsing and you happen to say then next thing you know you're on Facebook on your phone and it's showing you the same thing. It's just because of that unique fingerprint. It's nothing to worry about. Just something interesting
a lot of people will say something like, hey, cat food, we need to get cat food. We need to get cat food. Don't forget to get cat food. And then the next time you go open up your browser, there's an ad or something for all the different cat foods. Does it work the same way?
Yeah, it's very similar. It's all part of the same. And I think they're into our minds anyway, too. So. But it's not anything to worry about. Just that's kind of telling you why all these things.
Now you're an IT guy, and you're also a very good secure guy. I mean, our Deacon Live and the Prophet Radio websites are all secure. You can't really bust into any of them because of all the roadblocks that you've got going. So you're saying that these fingerprints are okay?
Yeah, these fingerprints are okay, and nothing is secure. They get into, they get into our treasury. They get into our water system.
They get into the gas line pipelines.
Yeah, they've gone in. I think they've made $31 million this year, and they probably don't pay taxes on it.
No, they probably don't. What else you got?
Almost everyone now has either GPS in their car or on their phone. But I just want to let you know right now that navigation tech is heading to space, because you can't print out turn-by-turn directions when you're going to the moon. And the Earth is already equipped with all the GPS satellites. Everything's marked. Right now, if you're in a lunar craft, you're operating in the dark. But there's a company called Maston Space Systems that's taking care of that. And
should I look for them on Robinhood and see if I can buy some stock with them?
Yeah, it may work out well.
So I'll look it up while you're doing that.
Yeah, it's a high tech company, and and by 2023 they're focusing on designing the PNT beacons: position, navigation, and timing. If you have those three things, you can do that. And they have to make devices that are extremely durable to survive the lunar conditions.
It's kind of like when they do, like in Star Wars, you see them get ready to jump to hyperspace. And I think there was one scene that the guy goes, just go. And he's like, yeah, you want to come out of hyperspace and end up right in front of an asteroid? We have to map this out throughout the thing. Yeah, so I guess it's the same thing.
Same exact thing. That's why you learn something watching that show. Yeah, so they're gonna deploy shockproof beacon enclosures, and within a couple of years, they're gonna have these will all sink into the ground, and they're gonna have a wireless mesh network covering the whole moon. So when you're ready to go up there next week or something, I'd hold off for a couple more years before you go to the moon.
And what's his name? Just went up there, Richard Branson.
Yeah, but they didn't go to we were talking about it, and it's 62 miles. They went to the edge of space. They didn't really go to space.
I don't see Maston on Robinhood. They might not be publicly traded yet.
Yes.
So, but I mean, you always hear like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos,
yeah.
Musk, Bezos. All of a sudden, what's his name? Branson is in space, and
Yeah, but they said that he went up 50 miles, and the limit that we talked about last week, it's 62 miles. So he was close, but he wasn't,
There's a company that does an air balloon. And when I say an air balloon, I use that term very loosely. You ever seen like the eye over in England, those containers, You know, the big Ferris wheel.
Yep, I know the big Ferris wheel.
All right, so they've taken. Imagine the big container that you ride on. It's probably, you know, maybe 200 square feet. You know, it's got glass all the way around it, and they've attached that to a hot air balloon, and the hot air balloon will take you up. It's I think $100 and some odd thousand per ticket. And they'll take you right up to the stratosphere, right up to, and it's, you know, you cruise at about 130 miles per hour, which is slow compared to, you know, a rocket ship going into space. And the whole trip takes 6 hours. It takes 3.5 hours to go up, and then you float around up there for about an hour and a half, or I'm sorry, about 30 minutes. And it's about 2 hours to come back down because you come back down a little bit faster. But they're doing a hot air balloon right up to the stratosphere.
And your pod has oxygen in it? You need
the
oxygen?
pod has oxygen. It has a bar. It has a bathroom. It's got all this stuff.
Yeah, I think I...
Would you take that rather than getting in a rocket and, you know, however many G forces that push you through the space to get up to space? I would take a nice slow walk. What's the... What's the thing where you, let's go down and fuck them all? No, or let's fuck that one, or no, let's
take
walk
our
down.
time going down. Yep, my father-in-law's old story.
Yeah.
But so you'd take the slow ride by Foghat.
Right.
You know, I'd almost want to go faster because you're scared crap and you get it all over with. Because
I don't know. I don't know if my body could take that. I think I would have more anxiety, like being on a roller coaster. I think I would have more anxiety of the fast and the pass and the moving and the twisting, rather than just getting on like a hot air balloon that's got a capsule about the size of the studio here. The studio is about 800 square feet, and glass windows all the way around, and you just kind of float up. And then you get to a certain point, maybe 52 miles. Branson did what, 50 miles, 52 miles?
50 miles, yeah.
And then just kind of float right back down. Would you pay 100 and some odd thousand for it, though? That's the thing. It's open to the public.
Yeah. Well, again, let me go check my bank account.
All right. Speaking of your bank account, when we come back, a lot of airlines are having some problems. I'm going to get into Dan's story about his airline experience.
Oh, you're not going to believe what happened to me.
And you want to check your bank account? 10,000 people won the lottery this past drawing that they had here in North Carolina, and I'll dive into that and tell you exactly what happened. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've never heard of those hot air things. We had one of our neighbors in Vermont had a hot air balloon, and they have a tradition when they land in your yard, they'll leave a bottle of champagne.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Watch the microphone, Dan.
This is going to cost. It goes all my money I made today.
There you go. Now you got to lift it back up so you're not talking over it. Grab the whole bar, Dan. Don't be a pussy. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, when we were there.
That sounds so much better.
Okay. When we were there, a hot air balloon. Heinz Fisher was the person who owned one, and he'd fly over our valley, and he landed in our yard, and then he'd call someone to come pick him up and stuff. So we had a hot air balloon land in our yard.
Oh, really? Nice. Oh, don't bust, don't bust, don't bust. Oh. Cats are fine, by the way.
So now things are worse. Have you thought at all about getting the vaccine now that it's really ravaging younger people?
When Amy does, I will.
I would think that they would make her get it for work, but they didn't.
She doesn't have to report back to our office.
Okay.
When and if, but she's got a permanent stay at home now. She's allowed to. That's why we were thinking about moving.
This is once you're in Oz, you can never. Once you leave, you'll never get something like this.
I know, and yeah. I said the exact same thing to her,
yeah.
And we were walking up. I said, "Babe, mornings like this, because we now get up together, yeah. And normally it was me on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to give her a break so she can sleep in a little bit. But now it gets to the point where we both wake up, we both walk down. I do this side, she does that side, and we will walk up, hand in hand like lovers do. Walk up the driveway, and I'm like, babe, there's no way we're going to get this ever again.
Yeah.
I said, even though it's a lot of work, it's a lot of hassle, I said, but we'll never get this again.
I was probably depressed for about 2 years after Sultan. Didn't know it. But after selling my land in Vermont, the 45 acres that we had, on, we were on top of a mountain. You look out and you see Mount Washington.
Yeah.
And the sun rises and the sun sets in the big skies. And I didn't realize it till later on, but I went through a period of a couple of years where it took everything out of me.
My big thing is I like straight lines. I don't know what disease you call it. I like straight lines. I like everything to be this way, this way, this way. Everything neat and clean. I can't stay on top of this enough to keep it nice. Dan, if you see all my other houses and property and stuff, I mean, you can snap chalk lines on the yard. You could snap chalk lines in the house and stuff. But we had a lot of time to dedicate to a small space. Now we got a lot of time that's distributed between a larger space. That's all.
And you don't spend any time playing video games?
The only I spent. You keep saying that.
I'm guilty, so I'm just saying.
Well, no. I played video games for the first time in a long time, in 2 weeks. Yesterday, actually. Because my arms were sore from cutting all the branches down, and then I had to install. Dan, I installed the AC in the tack room.
Yeah.
We figured out where the leaking was from, and it was the condensation. It wasn't tilted right. I said, well, let me just drill a little pinhole in the bottom here to get the water. I drilled a little pinhole. Sure enough, here comes the water. Figured it out. And I said, well, let me draw a little bit bigger. As soon as it went through the thing, hit the goddamn
coil.
I hit the coil, and the friggin' Freon started.
Yep.
So I had to go up and buy a brand new one. So I had to install that because if her stuff, all that leather and stuff, sits in that room, it'll mold.
No, you don't. But you take a drill bit and you put a stop on it, so that's how you do it.
I know, but Dan, I had the paddle bit.
Yeah.
You know how the paddle bit has just the little spike.
Yeah.
And I had the tip of the spike went in.
Yeah.
And I pulled it out and it started dripping. I said, all right, well, let me put the whole spike of the paddle bit in, which is only maybe a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
And sure enough, quarter of an inch, freaking hit a freaking line. It started spraying out like freaking dust. I go, God damn it.
And what's worse, that you did it or that Amy says, Travis, you idiot?
Well, I said, babe, I'd be more upset if I knew this was going to happen. I had no idea this was going to happen. I'm more upset that this AC that I had, I bought it when the hurricanes came through in Florida, and we had no AC in the house. We were out of power for 3 weeks. I bought this thing, so the thing's over 30 years old, and we've taken it on camping. We've taken it from house to house, and being dumb, I fucking killed it. And I was
well, the new one's got to be a little more energy efficient.
It is, yeah, it is, and it's a little smaller, more compact too. So, all right, all right, we'll talk about the lottery.
I got like 8 lottery tickets in my pocket. I haven't checked.
Oh, good. Don't give it away when you see it.
So when you put, is this going somewhere, who sees that when you go on Facebook? Just people who follow you?
On the Facebook page, I've asked for people to, all my friends, I think I got like 3,500 friends.
Yeah.
I asked them to like this page that I'm part of. And I think we've got maybe 300 people.
So that it just goes to them?
To my people.
Okay, so mine relatives shouldn't see it then.
Unless you tell them that it's on there.
Okay.
But the podcast itself is on iHeartRadio and all that. So if you've told them to listen to my podcast, I mean, if you want, I can edit that stuff out if you want.
Probably just the part about the overdose. The rest of it is me talking about my brother. You know what I mean?
All right.
Just because, I don't think anyone, if they happen to hear it, and I'm kind of just worried about my nephew, David.
Right.
If he heard that,
How would he
That's-
hear it though?
just by raw, somebody happened to see, it's the internet, it's out there. So
Right,
and
but have you told your family members that you do the podcast?
just for I've told them on
Who
the
have you
race.
told that you've done the podcast?
A few people, and I told my nephew about it that but he doesn't know where it is to find it. I'm just saying it's a big, huge universe, and the rest of it, it's just the part about the overdose with Paul. I mean, the rest of it, if I'm talking about my brother and it's admiration and good
Right.
things about it, that's
All right. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah. Karen called me on the phone the other day.
Who's Karen?
My neighbor, Karen.
Is that a real name?
Yeah, that's her real name. Yes. Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine with me.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what Victoria's Secret is?
Huh?
Nobody under 30 can fit into those clothes. Yeah, that's the secret. You remember Cheryl Teagues?
Yeah.
She was nice.
I don't want that. I want this. See this ad choice over here? I don't know why I've got all this.
Because of you have a fingerprint.
I know.
My nephew had one of his friends come over and wanted to buy a log splitter. So look, I got $1,000 in my truck for this log splitter. He want, this is like 2 days after my brother died, and one of his friends wants to buy it from him, and it goes for like $4,000. And he's go, no, we're not doing that now.
I know when her dad passed away, he had a hammock up in the backyard, and the neighbors came over and, can we do anything for you? No, everything's good. We're cleaning the house and do everything. Do you want the hammock in the backyard? I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Probably it's not even cold yet.
Yeah, why don't you put a U-Haul in here?
All right, I gotta find this video because this video is.
I was watching this video a little bit from this guy.
Fucking internet.
I'm watching this video. I think this guy records it backwards. I think he slides over on his butt and then he stands up.
But how does he slide over? That's the thing.
You can push yourself over on a smooth floor to where
He doesn't move, Dan. He sits there and then spins and goes to the right or left. Where are you going?
go like this.
Uh-huh. That's a lot of work for as smooth as that video is, Dan.
Well, he's on a smooth floor, and he's on a floor. Then you get up like this, and then you get up like this, and then you pretend you're doing an ignition thing. I think that's filmed reverse backwards.
That's what they were saying. It looks like it's filmed reverse back, but his feet don't do that, though. I don't know, Dan.
I did one that was Christopher and the Magnificent, and I had my little nephew, like 8 years old, and I'd have him like holding a milk glass, and then I'd pause it, and then I'd go over and pour milk in the glass, and he'd go like this, and I mean, if a lot of people are watching it and the guy makes a ton of money, that's all good for him.
All right, I got to find a better place for this video.
YouTube usually is the best place.
I know, but when you get it on YouTube, then you get like knuckleheads going, you should see this video of this guy and the lady. I don't want to see that.
Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Do you see?
Listen.
Oh, God.
All right, so here we go. I hate doing it like that, but that's the way I have to do it. All right, here we go. Ready?
What do you want me to do? Okay.
Do what you do.
Okay. I didn't know if you had anything special.
No. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So you're saying my router's good. I'm all secure and everything, and my network is 100% fail-safe as far as anything going wrong with it. Yes.
No. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah. This is true. Now, speaking of anything can happen, Dan, are you familiar with the store Victoria's Secret?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
We've seen them in the mall.
All right. And what is a Victoria's Secret?
Victoria's Secret is that no one under 30 years old can fit in those clothes. It's mostly lingerie and fancy clothes.
Now, the brick and mortar stores are going away as far as, I mean, malls in general. Everything's like an outdoor mall now. You know, the strip malls are coming back, but they make them look like towns and villages. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, and I like the way some of them look. There's a town called Cary that has everything set up really nice. 5 or 6 stores. You know, you can pull in the parking lot, walk to the store you want. I like it a lot better.
And the footprint's probably a lot smaller as far as like the concrete footprint that the buildings. You spend less on, I guess, AC the whole place. I don't know how.
Yeah, you don't have the big central area of the mall. You know, makes it harder for people when they want to go in and start shooting everyone.
It is. Now, in this episode right here, we have Victoria's Secret. There is and you're familiar with the term Karen. Karen is a woman that just gets irate and out of control. Now, in this video that we're going to share right here, this is a meltdown, a Karen melting down in Victoria's Secret. Now, what happened was they're having a buy 2, get 1 free panty sale at Victoria's Secret. Now, Dan, I don't know, not to get in your personal business, whether you've bought or purchased any lingerie for yourself or for your wife.
No.
But Victoria's Secret stuff is very expensive. It's really expensive. Like a bra and panties is like $110, you know, type deal.
Yeah, it's all hype. And
how much is your underwear, Dan?
Yes, yeah, you have 10-pack. Yeah,
10-pack for $20 or something, right? Yeah. That's $2 a wipe. Now, this woman right here was pissed off at a black lady. Now, the woman in the video, of course, is a white woman trying to approach or threaten or intimidate this black woman, and she pulled out her camera phone. Thank God everyone's got them on their hip. Pulls it out just at the right moment, right before this Karen attacks her, and then she stops in mid-swing and realizes that she's going to be famous. She's the new Karen. This is what's going to happen. So for you guys out there, if you want to watch this video, go to prophetradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and we'll show you this video in real time. So here we go. Get ready. Let me make sure I got the right screens up so everyone can be friends. Here we go.
No, it's you.
You see that?
Now you are. Oh my God!
I'll backtrack just a little bit there so you can see it.
It's you. Now you are. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Do you see this? I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she's crying. Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her.
She's crying because she got caught.
She tried to hit me.
Yep.
Ask your workers. She tried to hit me.
Now she's squatting down on the floor.
Oh my God.
Please don't record me.
I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? And I got to pick up my Converse boots from Nordstrom's. I don't know why this is happening to me.
Free panty, get that in there.
No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
People at the counter got like their mask on and stuff still. They're like going, no, you stay over there. You stay over there.
Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go.
Now she's on the floor and she's spazzing out is what she's doing.
You couldn't write this any better.
No, you couldn't. And she's like wiggling and stuff. Watch her. I think she pretends to pass out.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
Here she goes. Get your lady.
You gonna
Now she's chasing her through the store. Yeah, I know. So
that's hilarious.
holy mackerel! I mean, there's something that happens to your psyche when you're like, I'm gonna do something, and then you're being recorded, and you're realizing that, hey, look. Now my anxiety's kicking in. Someone else is going to see this, and your nerves and your bundles and your mind your synapses don't fire right when that happens.
Yeah, that is because I mean, the cameras have made such a difference.
Yeah. Now, speaking of making a difference, Dan, you play the lottery at all?
Yes.
Now, do you play like the pick three? What is it? The cash four,
I do
the
Powerball,
Powerball,
Lucky for Life, Cash 5, and I was only 6 numbers off the other day.
Oh, yeah. Stupid jokes. Now, I have a cash 3 scheme. Now, the odds of you, like if you pick 3 numbers, like 1, 2, 3, the odds of you winning the cash 3 on one ticket is, I think it's like 0.02% or something like that. I've got a scam, not a scam.
A scheme.
A scheme or a scam where it actually increases your odds to 27%. And I've done well with it. Okay. But it's a job, and you have to do it every day. And it's picking the numbers and working out the schemes. But nonetheless, you have your favorite 3 numbers. What are your favorite 3 numbers? Not because that might be your PIN code to your card or something.
Are they 1 through 10, or I mean?
Yeah, the cash 3 is 1 through 0. There's not a 10. It's single digit. So, lottery ball. And the first number is 4, and the next number is 6, and the next number is 9. And you're like, all right. And then you can make them in any order, frontwards, backwards, straight, box. And straight means they come up in that order, or box means if you had 4, 5, 6, and 6, 5, 4 came up, then you would win. You wouldn't win as much, but you would still win.
Okay. Yeah, mine would like 4, 7, and 9.
Okay, so 4, 7, and 9. Now, a lot of people play, I think, some of them are like ridiculous numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. Or
a lot of sevens.
A lot of sevens, of course. 7, 7, 7. Well, in here, Raleigh, North Carolina, just right side of our back door, nearly 10,000 winners of the North Carolina lottery game will split the $3.6 million jackpot that just happened. Players won the Carolina Pick 3 this drawing past Friday. All the winners picked the same number, 0, 0, 0.
Oh.
And the odds of beating it, or odds of winning, is 1 in 1,000. So they actually split all that money. Prizes will vary depending on how much people pay for the ticket. Now, you can pay 50 cents for the ticket, or you can pay pay 50 cents for the ticket and get $250. If you pay $1 for the ticket, you get a $500 ticket. Lottery officials say that playing the same 3 numbers is the popular way that people play the game. We have 6. All the winners have 6 months to claim the prizes. So, but the number's 0, 0, 0.
That's their gym locker.
Yeah, it's the same combination that I have in my luggage. Yeah. They say that 0, 0. Now, just think of how many times they had to play that number. So the cash 3 is every day, twice a day. 1 in the morning at 11, 1 at night at 6 o'clock. So if you spend, and it's Monday through Friday, I think it's Monday through Friday. So that's $10 a week that you're spending to make sure that 0, 0, 0, and it'll actually tell you when the last time 0, 0, 0 popped up, which was probably in 2017. I'm still back in the 19s. 2017, it popped up. So imagine playing those numbers and then only winning like $500 something.
And you have a better chance if you had different numbers than, I know 777 came up once, and a whole bunch of people won that.
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, 10,000 people won here in North Carolina. The cash 3 number, 0, 0, 0. But, you ever play your favorite numbers, you're always thinking, this is it. It's a gamble. It's always a gamble.
I've been playing my same numbers on the Powerball, $4 a week since I was in Vermont.
Why just $4? Why don't you just stick it up with a 5?
Because, no, I put that, it's $2 for Wednesday and $2 for Saturday.
Okay.
And I've been playing those same exact numbers. I know
one ticket?
Yeah, one ticket. Those same numbers since I was in Vermont, which is in like 1990s, and I know those numbers. And if I ever stop and the numbers come up, I would just kick myself in the ass. So I'm mostly playing that as a defensive way. I have to keep playing those numbers. And
Dan, they call that addiction. And let me explain to you about addiction. It's thinking the next hand's going to be better. It's the spinning the roulette wheel. It's the next hand's going to create me the most money.
No, I just said I've played this number, and if I stop, it's going to come up. That's the whole thing. I just don't want that if it stops.
You all keep those going and going and going. Now, some tickets you can buy like 4 or 5 weeks in advance. Do you do that?
No, I just buy 2 every week.
Okay.
Every Sunday morning I do it.
Well, good. And and here on the air, if you ever win, Dan, all I want, 10%.
Yes. Okay.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah, I'll give you 10%, but not percent of the lottery. Give you 10% of something. So,
all right.
I'll take care of you.
I know you will. Speaking of taking care of people, there's a lot of things that are going on. Well, let me scratch this off before I get any further. There's a lot of things going on in your airports. Again, we're being released back in society. We don't know how to act. Just like Karen that wanted the free pantyhose and wanted to attack that black woman and got caught on camera and started shaking around. There's a lot of people in the airports that are doing the exact same thing. And I'll talk to Dan about his experience that he had in the airport.
It was awful.
I know. And we'll dive into... And we'll talk about a few more things and let you get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I can't enter tickets unless I'm in North Carolina. And in the drawings tonight.
Is it a drawing or drawing?
Drawing.
You want me to show you my concept real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So,
I would like to.
Ready?
Yeah.
Give me 5 numbers randomly, 0 through 9.
0 through 9? Mm-hmm. 3, 4, 7, 9, 8.
Okay.
And you always do the pick 3?
Yeah. So what you do, there's 2 columns.
Yep.
You look at them.
Okay.
So on the left-hand side are 5 numbers.
Yep.
On the right-hand side are the other 5 numbers.
Okay.
That you didn't pick. There's only 10 combinations on the left-hand side of those numbers.
Okay.
Okay. On the right-hand side, there's also only 10 combinations of those numbers.
Okay.
All right. So if you pick, if you spend 50 cents per ticket.
Yep.
And do all the combinations of that, and you do box, you would win. I think it's $40. You only spend 20 to pay.
Okay.
Or to play.
Okay. So you're picking. You do 50 cents box, and you're doing. But you said there's 10 on each one.
Every combination of those, which is only 10 combinations.
That should be $10 that you're spending.
No, 50 cents.
50 cents each one.
Oh, I'm thinking $20. I'm thinking $1 per ticket. Sorry.
Okay. So if you did $1 per ticket, if you do $1, that's $20 you're spending to pick those numbers.
It's $20 because you do. I'm sorry. It is 50 cents because it's 10 in the morning and 10 at night. You play for the whole day.
Okay.
I had a whole. I have actually on this driver. I've got the whole my spreadsheet of all the times I've won and all the times I had the numbers and stuff.
And then at the end of the month, you're going to come out ahead. Okay.
I think I was ahead $300.
Oh, okay.
But it's work.
Yeah, you have to.
Because every day you've got to play different numbers.
Yeah, but you have to. But when you go to the store. Because I have the app here. It lets me do it here at home. Still signing in because.
All right, we're running along here. That's why I want to keep the breaks. But anyways, that was my scheme.
Okay.
It's 20. You're 27% more likely to hit the number than you would. You can tear that sheet off if you want.
What do you Netgear 05? What's the password again?
I'm not going to give it to you on the air.
We're not on the air.
Yeah.
You're recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Type it in. I know it's the Netgear one. They made it up. It's not yours. I've learned not to change the password, just leave it, because every time you reset it, you have to do them all over again.
Now you're going to slow all my videos down. Can we finish the show?
Yeah. So now Karen has it worse because all her friends are going to see it, and they walk down the supermarket, and everywhere they go, they're going to look at hers. Yeah, we're working on negotiations to get CenturyLink 1 gig into our neighborhood, which would be nice. But you can do those numbers for a whole week, can't you?
You can't. You can. It's
because it's going to end up. It's going to be the same thing, right? You put the same numbers
because
in.
I mean, you can pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the next one would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 6, 9, 0, and so your random numbers could be different.
But you said when you do it, you take all the combinations you can make out of that.
Right. But sometimes an 8's over in this column, sometimes the 8's over in this column, sometimes the 9's in this column, sometimes the 9's in this column. So you might have two numbers from this column and one number from this column. So you have to constantly raffle them up. Or you could take the gamble of keeping those numbers for all week.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you say combinations, 3, 4, 7 would be one combination. 7, 8, 9 would be another conversation. You know.
On the right side.
Yeah. Well, on the left side or right side, aren't they?
You take the 5 numbers on the right side.
Yep.
You make 10 combinations of just those 5 numbers.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, you take the combination of those numbers, and there are only 10 combinations of those 5 numbers.
Okay. Does that mean if you take 3, 4, 7, 9, 8, you could 3, 4, 7 would be one combination. 7, 9, 8 would be another one. 4, 7, 9 would be another one.
If you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 here, sometimes the ball will pop up 2, 3, 9.
But that would be the same either way if whatever day of the week it was. It wouldn't.
That's why you got to change them up. You can run it all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, you run the same numbers all week long.
Yeah.
You
change yours all around all the time.
I've done it both. That's why I said I've got the driver, my little USB card, and I followed it for almost 6 months to prove my theory. And then from there we go into the 4 numbers, and the 4 numbers completely. There's a triangle theory with that.
You must have them blocked. It's not signing in.
Right.
But I have to just remember to do it tonight. So I do those numbers because it's Wednesday.
Well, you want to do
no, I want to do my Powerball ones tonight.
Okay.
I just remembered. I usually do it Sunday morning.
Can't you do it on that?
Yeah, I could probably. Usually I do it here so quick.
How late do you have to do it?
Oh, till 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not.
One show at a time, Dan.
But if we were doing a show on Thursday, I would have been screwed, and they would turn around and go, "Oh." Okay.
That was the day that your numbers came in.
Yep, and I knew a kid that my friend of mine my friend of mine would buy all his drugs from. The kid was a drug dealer, and he won like $4 million, but he pissed through it in about a year. So
you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to DeaconLive. You want something for free? Of course you want something for free. Everyone wants something for free, right, Dan?
Yeah, I want something free right now.
Okay. And the way you do that is go to ProfitRadio.com, PROPHET radio, click on the free swag section, and you can get some stuff mailed out to your house. We have stickers, we have magnets for your cars, little 4-inch magnets. You can stick them on your refrigerator, you can do whatever you want with them.
Don't put them on your computer.
Don't put them on your computer, it'll wipe out your memory. Now, and also, follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that, again, is go to Profit Radio. Click on whatever. We're on Facebook. We are on Instagram, YouTube, all the things that connect us to you and you to us as well. Now, I had a friend on Facebook, Dan. Now, you're not on Facebook too much.
No, I try to get on just a little bit. I get feels creepy to me, like you're looking in someone's window.
Right. And so this one girl, I went to high school with her. We were friends, like acquaintances. And, you know, when you get out of high school, all your cliques and your friendships, everyone just says, hey, we're now out of high school. We're just trying to get through this world together as a human race. You know, there's no jocks, there's no nerds, there's no uppies, there's no yuppies or whatever like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people you see from Facebook, you find out more how they're leaning politically than you ever did before.
So a friend of mine, or one of my friends on Facebook, said, you always see hearts and prayers. You know, we need hearts and prayers, and it just drives me crazy when people do that on Facebook, because it's a look at me. I want attention because something's wrong with my life. I want everyone to know that I want to feel accepted, right? You know, I mean, that's essentially what you're doing.
Yeah, and Facebook, when they put hearts and prayers, I don't know.
So, person on Facebook said, my brother just passed away. Didn't see it coming, you know, whatever the case may be. We need hearts and prayers. Please feel for my family and all that stuff. And of course, you know, the comment thread goes all the way down, you know, 50, 60, 70 some odd people. And I kind of said, you know, hey, you know, you have to understand things happen, you know, out of your control. Things happen.
You didn't say shit happens.
No, I didn't say shit happens. No. But I said, you know, you have to understand that things happen out of your control. And I got this long thread of, you're so unsensitive, you don't understand. I'm like, whoa. I don't know how you're reading this, but I'm just saying, in this world, in this big ball that we're, you know, the big blue-green ball floating around the planet, there's things that we cannot control. And Dan, you know, I mean, I hate to say that your trip up to Boston, kind of the same way.
Yeah, and it was stuff that there are things out of your control. But I don't want to argue with you, but I think isn't the world square?
Well, it's flat. It's
yeah.
flat in some areas. So I got into this, you know, you're so insensitive. You don't care about anyone in this world. You're such an asshole. And I'm like going, look, first of all, one thing that I've learned working in this whatever I do here on DeaconLive, I know not to read emails and put my own tone into that email. So, for example, hey, how many times do we need to change the light bulb in the, you know, whatever station that it is? And on the other end, they're reading it like, how many times does it take to change? You know, you put your own sensitivity into that email. And so I just said, again, hey, you have to understand things happen in this world. We have no explanation. We have no control over it. Please, you know, whatever. And that this person was like, oh, well, you know, fuck you, and you're an asshole and shit. And I'm like going, whoa. I don't know how you're reading this. It's not.
Some people read text messages and emails the wrong way. And to me, something like that, pick up the phone and they can hear the inflection in your voice. And they want to hear somebody that took the time to call you rather than just, click here, hearts and, you know.
Well, within seconds, she's like going, fuck you, I knew you were an asshole, you're always been an asshole, blah, 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 fuck you, we're out of here, blah, 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 peace out, you know, that type thing. And I'm like going, what? Hold on, you didn't give me a chance to reconcile this thing. And I was like, well, you know what, that's fine. So for the person that I lost on Facebook, because I said, you know, hey, in this world, you know, there's something greater than us, there's things that, you know, we can't control. You have to understand that, you know, and I did say, it looks like you're doing an attention grab.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that went over well, but still, for the most part.
How long have you known this person?
Since my freshman year of high school, so since 1988 or something like that.
And it took her this long to find out you're an asshole?
I know. I mean
we're all assholes.
Well, I tell my wife all the time, I'm an asshole, and she's like, going, no, you're not. No, you're not. To everyone else you are, not to me. Now, speaking of being an asshole, this woman at the Orlando International Airport, 29-year-old woman, is upset over missing her flight in Orlando. Now, Dan, you just flew out of Charlotte Douglas.
Charlotte to Boston and Boston back.
And then did you have any problems getting on the plane? Did you have any, do you always like down your nose at people like, oh, that guy's going to give us some trouble?
Well, I go early. I go 2 hours early and then get through all the checkpoints, and then I hang around bored to death. But what happened to me I had two really bad things. One thing, I forgot my earbuds, so I had to sit in JetBlue and just look at a screen without seeing
Don't
what
they
they're
give
saying.
you earbuds? Don't they have would you like to buy them?
Yeah, you can buy them,
But they sound like they're like tint. They're.
Yeah. And I didn't. I said no. I forgot them. It's my own fault. But when I was coming back through Boston, I went through the put all my stuff in the tray. I go through they have the round. It's almost like a round cylinder door.
Oh, for the bomb sniffing thing?
No, it's the one where they go up and you put your hands up over your head and it does the scan.
It does a scan, but I think does it blow air on you?
No, it doesn't blow air, but
okay.
it goes around like a camera scan. And the guy asked me to pull aside, and he showed me. He goes, "We showing something in your pockets?" I had nothing, brand new jeans. I had nothing in my pockets whatsoever. I said, "Take them over," and the guy pulled me aside. He goes, "This is a problem." I said, "Whatever you need to do is fine with me." And he checked it all through, and it took about 5 minutes, and then he said, "Okay, you're free to go."
Have you seen the other side of, like, when you're standing in the booth? And I just figured this out. My wife's probably going to thank me for it, or whatever. You stand there with your hands over your head, and the thing swings around. Have you been on the outside, and they see the actual, like, the outline of your body, and it shows like these little yellow markers on your body, like it's a cartoon body of you. It's not you. And it says, "Hey, we have a problem here. We have a problem here." And then they'll say, "Okay, do you have a belt on or anything in your pockets?" Because it's usually a yellow marker around your belt or around your pockets.
Yeah, I had two squares in my pockets, and it was like a front pocket and a back pocket, and I had nothing in my pockets, and I have an all plastic belt that I wear to the airport,
right?
So you don't have to, but it just barely fits in because they're new jeans. It just barely fits to the rungs.
My wife, every time we go through the thing, and it just dawned on me just now, she takes her belt off, and no matter how many times, she's taken her belt off, she's worn shorts, she's worn jeans, she's worn dress slacks, she's worn dresses, and all the time there's a yellow marker around her hip area. I never thought of it. She has a tattoo right on her, like, inner hip area. I bet you that there might be something that they use in the ink on her tattoo, because every time it's always like right here. If you're watching it's always like right here.
Okay.
She gets a yellow marker right here.
Yeah, and I got that, and they couldn't find it.
You have a tattoo?
No, I don't have a tattoo at all. I was going to get my Prophet Radio tattoo, and the guy said, I can't.
I can't spell it.
I can't do it. I can only stoop so low. Yeah.
Well, this woman in Orlando, 29-year-old woman, is upset over missing her flight in the Orlando International Airport late last month through the computer keyboards over the counter at the Frontier Airline ticket desk. The employee tried to hit the employee with a pole, according to the Orlando Police Department. Now, at one point during this incident, the Frontier Airline employee pepper sprayed her. She's like, "Oh my God, my life's being threatened here." Pulls out the pepper spray and hits Dana Antonia Perry of Brooklyn, New York. "Hey, get me on that freaking plane. Yeah. Do you know who I am?" Yeah. She doesn't sound like that, but I'm sure. She was arrested and charged on June 30th with aggravated assault. Her two younger children accompanied her. So it was her and her two children, a 7-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy.
What a great example.
What an example that is. They were turned over to the Florida Department of Child and Families in the Orlando Police Department. Pierre appeared in court on July 1st and was released earlier this morning on a $3,000 bond. Now, she was also fined. Let's see. The Federal Aviation Administration said this week alone they have fined out $119,000 in civil penalties against 9 airline passengers doing the same exact thing, just throwing shit around, breaking shit, and just being a freaking idiot.
Yeah, and sometimes this will happen, and you get on the no-fly list, and you're going to have to get into your car and drive from Florida to Boston or whatever.
But I mean, just ride out, fall out, just, hey, look, I missed my plane. You need to fix it. No, you missed the plane because obviously you had to take the kids to the bathroom. You weren't paying attention at the time.
Yeah, you were.
It's in Orlando Airport. It's not that big, but it's a big place. It's one that has the tram that runs through the main terminal,
the hub.
To the other outside things.
Yeah, it's just somebody is probably on Facebook and not paying attention and didn't get there on time. Yep, I always worry that I'm going to be late and something will be tied up, traffic or anything. So I'm always like 2 hours early at the airport.
Amy is the worst. Amy, there's two pet peeves or personal scare tactics, or not scare tactics, but things that scare her to death. One is being completely lost, like when we're driving around. You know, she wants to, know exactly where we are. And when we drive around in the car, whether she's sitting here or in the driver's seat, she's driving. Because she's like, okay, we have to take a right up here. And then the GPS will go, in a half mile, take a right. I'm like,
that's because she's an organized person and she wants things in a certain order.
And the worst thing is she doesn't want to be late to the airport, to the actual, the gate and stuff. Now we're here and we do it all the time. We rush, and now we're there an hour and a half early. And I'm like, okay, can we calm down now? She's like, yes, do whatever you want. I'm like, I'm going over to the bar.
Yeah, and to me, once I'm through there and I put my shoes on and all that other stuff, then I'm good. Now, and then you sit around bored.
Yes, and you watch whatever videos that we have here. Now, speaking of videos, this was captured on a flight. It doesn't say where the flight is, but it's called #summer vacation. A woman attacks a man, I'm assuming her boyfriend, on a flight, accusing him of looking at another woman. Now, Dan, has your wife ever got mad at you for looking at another woman?
No, but she'll mention things to me, and I said, if I start looking at other guys, then you start worrying.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So this woman right here, and this is probably taken on a few rows back from where the initial thing was happening. And for you to see this video, go to prophetradio.com, click on DeaconLive, you see this video. Now, here we go. Let's see, make sure I got everything turned up and everyone can see it.
The fuck up. Yeah, you better believe that I wear the fucking nuts, nigga, in front of...
Now, hold on. Before we get started, there's a lot of terminology that I at DeaconLive do not support. Yeah. And it's the racial slur. I do not support that at all. I don't think anyone should use it. I think if we're going to be better people and be a better community together, I think that word on both sides of the aisle should be taken out of context or taken out of our language altogether. So here we go. So please apologize for this. So
you want to fucking try to look at other women, niggas? Now fuck you. You ain't gonna look at other women, and you ain't gonna tell me you looking at other women. We have a little child right behind us. Yeah, I know. I fucking.
She's like, so the stewardess. So what's happening is the girlfriend is yelling at the boyfriend, and the two stewardesses are standing over and saying, "Hey, look, we have a little child behind us, and we don't appreciate this language."
I consoled the fucking child.
She's like, "I consoled the fucking child. I told him what was going on."
There's a little boy right behind you.
I already know. Look, I'm not gonna say nothing if you don't say nothing to try to cause a commotion, because he's the fucking problem.
You hear the boy in the background? Yeah. Mama!
Fucking say shit to me, nigga. So shut the fuck up. Nigga, fuck you. You wanna fucking watch when we get home, nigga? Just take care.
In the center of this picture is this white guy. He's got his earbuds in. He's like going, "Hey man, I'm just here for the plane ride here."
Fuck you.
Now, where's the person that's yelling? She said
it's behind this this gentleman here. So like I said, this is like 3 rows up, and you'll see the woman. The woman will say, "Sir, would you like to get up and go to the front?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I will." And as he gets up and moves, she comes running right behind him, and watch what happens.
I'm not bringing my back to the what? If I let him in my back, I'm not ever gonna see you again. I swear to God, don't you ever come to my house, nigga. I'll call the police on you. Fuck you. Oh, really? You're going out of control. Nigga,
you're out of control.
You shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. I'm not out of control. She slapped him one time. There you go.
Oh, you gonna come up?
Yeah, man, I'm getting up, man. Get up.
Here she goes.
Oh, I'm assaulting you? I know you for fucking years.
Now they're in the aisle. Bam! She hit the stewardess in the head, or steward, the flight attendant, in the head too.
I'm gonna get my purse.
Get off me. Give me my purse.
Fuck you. You want to say I'm assaulting you? Fuck you.
And this guy, one of the, I guess the pilot comes up and kind of says to her, "Yo, you're going to be charged with assault." And she's like, "I don't give a fuck."
Fuck you, Memo.
Here you go.
Ma'am. Yeah, I'm going over there. You're going to be charged with assault. Fine, whatever.
Fine,
yeah, Memo?
Yeah. Get back here, Memo. I'm going to kick your ass, Memo.
And I'm seeing, maybe, I don't know if I'm seeing more of it or just being filmed more, but it's like insanity. And I mean, she's going to get all these assault charges. She's going to be in a no-fly, never go on an airplane again in her life.
But I mean, people are getting more and more. I'm telling you, Dan, it's the COVID vaccination. It's making people crazy. We're getting back out there. We're getting all this stuff. And maybe...
I did notice all the stuff sticking to her head, the spoon and stuff like that.
Not the magnetized stuff. Let me show you this one. So this group right here actually got what do you call it? They got they took this lady who was getting out of control and handled her in the right way or the wrong way. Hold on, I'll pull this video up right here, and when we come back, I'll dive into that. They use a lot of duct tape on her. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Don't worry, it gets crazier than this. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I didn't mean to do that.
Wow, that's crazy. And the people have just got such anger issues.
I know, Dan. Yeah, but do you agree with what I said about the N word?
Yeah,
I don't.
They shouldn't say it. It shouldn't be used at all for anybody. That's what I think.
I mean, if you want racial strife in between people, you need to drop those words. You know, we don't say. But people, freedom of speech and all that stuff.
I was a little kid and I said that because I heard someone else say it, and I got sent to the principal's office. I said I didn't. Okay, let me find the... Look at her there. You see her? Yeah. Yeah, everyone behaved on our flights.
I have to... Hold on.
This unforgettable vacation memory. It didn't actually begin here.
Okay, so what do we have
This
after the
memory
duct tape?
began when Dad booked his family.
Oh, the guy who left his bag at the... I'm going to do the bag first.
Okay.
I want to make sure the video plays, though. Are you on the internet with your phone?
It's not signing in.
Okay.
But let me...
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it said the Netka had no internet access.
This unforgettable vacation memory.
I don't want
It
this.
didn't actually begin here.
Okay, so basically my mom was the seat in front of her on this crazy plane ride. But this
on an American Airlines flight from Dallas to Charlotte. The woman is duct taped to her seat after she tried to open the passenger door while the flight...
All right, so let's backtrack that. And we'll have her talk about it. Let me get the bomb. You okay on time, Dan?
Yeah, I'm good.
I always feel rushed when it gets... Do you have like a absolute cutoff? Like you can't be here past like 5 o'clock or something?
Yeah, well, no, Kathy just says, when are you coming home? I said, this is what I'll call you when I'm on the way home and stuff.
I'll let you read this one since... Turn the volume on just in case things come back. Oops. I think it just came up. You ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan, all the way from Boston. Just came back from Boston.
Yeah, boy, my arms are tired flying.
And we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about, DeaconLive sits on about 22 some odd acres here. We have horses, we have chickens, we have cattle, and my wife just got 2 new cats that adopted. And so that's what we do here on the French. And for those of you who like to follow us and all our social networks, the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com, PROPHET radio.com. Now, Dan, you went through airport security at Douglas Airport. Yeah. Did you have a mask on?
Everyone had a mask. It was very good. Yeah.
Everyone had a mask on. Now, is it mandatory for them?
Mandatory. Federal building in the airport, you have to have a mask.
Now, I don't think an airport's a federal building, is it?
Yeah, federal aviation. Yeah.
Is it really? Yeah. No.
I heard someone say this is a federal building. I heard someone say it.
You heard someone say it, but is it a federal building? Because I think it's a private, it's not run by the government. Now, the airlines and everything else is run by the government. Like, as soon as they leave the tarmac, they're in federal airspace. But as far as on the ground, the government's not going to say they can't have an Annie's pretzels stand over here or anything like that. I think it's privately owned.
It said it was a federal, it could be privately owned, but still run by the federal government.
Oh, all right. Well, do you have any problems checking your bag? How many bags do you travel with?
Just one.
Just one? Do you check it in or do you bring it with you?
When on the way up, I put it in the overhead, and the second time they said they were cramped for space, so I put it in, had to go with the luggage.
I've never understood why people would go not just check it in. I mean, I understand if you're going for like a 2-day trip, I want to carry this bag with me. I think all bags...
Have you seen the way they handle them?
Yeah. I mean, I've had like glass bottles that I've brought back from places, and you wrap them in cushion, wrap them in whatever in the center of the bag. Sure enough, I get the bag back, it's cracked. Everything's wet inside.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I do it. And a lot of times I know it's right there. I don't have to go down and wait for the carousel to spin around and everything. So.
Now, have you ever been refused your bag or had to pay like extra charge? Now, you flew what? Blue Jet?
JetBlue.
JetBlue, those guys.
When we flew to California, we had to pay extra for the bag.
How much extra?
Oh, maybe $20 something. And my wife went and groaned, and I go, "What are you going to do? Leave it here?" You know, so
well, do me a favor. This guy right here, he was so mad about the airline's baggage fee, so he ditched the bag and said there was a bomb inside.
No way.
Yep. Read this article right here.
Yeah. Wiggle Rosen was arrested at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport for falsely claiming there was a bomb in his carry-on luggage. That's a felony.
That is a felony.
Yeah.
Oops, go ahead.
Yeah, Wiggle Rosen shimmered with rage as he stood before the Air Canada check-in counter. The agent at Florida's Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport had just informed that he would have to pay to carry on one of his bags when boarding his flight to Toronto. Rosen, who's 74.
74 years old, kicking up a storm.
Yep, then he stormed off in a fit of protest, abandoning his luggage by the ticket counter, according to the Broward County Sheriff's Office. But then the airplane employee instructed him to take his bag with him. Rosen allegedly shot back with a chilling threat. There was a bomb in the bag, he said, according to police. What followed was a frenzied response from airport officials and local law enforcement. 3 terminals were evacuated and swept. Roadways were closed. 8 flights were canceled and dozens were delayed. I mean, that's...
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's an episode of, what is it, Something About Mary, where I can't say bomb in the airport, bomb, 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 you know, bomb, bomb, ding, dong, ding, dong.
Yeah, and that is... Yeah, that's felony. That's serious. That's serious time for him. He's going to be in court and all these other things.
Yeah, he's going to serve some time, and if not time, he's going to be federal probation for at least 5 years. I mean, it's a minimum 5 years.
Yeah,
and
the lawyer fees are going to be astronomical.
Well, if he gets a lawyer, he might want to represent himself like that one guy. So he didn't do very well. Now. We just heard the story about the woman who was beating her boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever, about looking at a woman and literally taking it out on him. The guy with the bag, he's in the airport still, or in the terminal. He's not on the plane yet. But this woman right here, the stewardesses and flight attendants took matters in their own hand when a woman got out of control in Charlotte, North Carolina, right here in our own backyard. A woman was duct taped to the seat on American Airlines flight to Chicago. For more details on the story, we'll go to this article right here.
A lot of us talking about this viral video of a violent outburst on an American Airlines flight from Dallas to Charlotte. The woman is duct taped to her seat after she tried to open the passenger door while the flight was in midair. WCCB Charlotte's Trish Williford spoke to a woman.
What's wrong?
I couldn't see it.
Oh, you couldn't see it? Oh, sorry.
On that flight about those frightening moments. Trish is live tonight from Charlotte Douglas International. This is a wild story, Trish.
Yeah, and Morgan, some passengers say the woman punched and bit a flight attendant on that American Airlines flight right before it landed here in Charlotte. And one woman told us the crew tried to do everything they could to calm her down. You can clearly hear the yelling in this TikTok video as passengers on American Airlines Flight 1774 from Dallas depart the plane at Charlotte Douglas International. And to the right, you can see a woman in a purple shirt with her mouth and arms duct taped as she sat in her seat.
She looks like a hostage situation. She's got duct tape around her mouth. She's got, you know what, that stupid green hair that everyone has, all the kids have, I'm free, I'm a free spirit.
How old is she?
I don't know, but I mean, still. And she's duct taped to the chair. Literally duct taped to the chair.
Claire was a passenger on that July 6th flight. She says the woman was initially sitting right behind her. And as the flight took off from Dallas, she says the woman complained she was claustrophobic.
It was kind of like strange, talking about strange things to the man next to her. And then got really loud, and they were trying to, comfort her and give her water. And then she kept saying, we need to stop going up, up, up. And then she got up and ran to the door. She tried to open the door in the air.
Now, she's claustrophobic, and she's trying to get on a plane. Now, I do get a little panicky. My wife will tell you, she will attest to this. I need to either sit in the aisle or at least in the middle seat to the aisle. I can't sit next against the window unless I've got the whole entire seat to myself. But I will kind of panic a little bit, and if she sees my head go down and my hands go up on my head, there's a practice that I do to get me out of this anxiety, this panic that I have.
I understand that.
Yeah, but it's a panic of doom, and anyone with anxiety, I understand this woman completely, but there's also medication. There's also drinks served on the plane that you could take that relax
Claire
yourself.
says this chaos happened 40 minutes into the flight from Dallas.
And then they, had to tackle her because she was trying to open the door. And she was flailing and screaming, and I think she punched a flight attendant in the face and bit somebody.
Well, this incident is just the latest in an ever-growing list of reports by the FAA of unruly passengers on flights. The agency has received more than 3,000 reports.
3,000? Dan, you're not part of them, are you?
No.
You haven't been part of any of those flights?
No.
3,000 incidents just in the last year. This in 2021, and we're not even done. We're only in June, July now. 3,000. So how many is that per month? That's eight months divided by that. I mean, that's 200 and some odd people per plane.
Yeah, whatever happened to the customer is always right.
Well, there's a difference between that. So the woman reportedly had mental health problems and had an episode, according to the sources.
Well, she had a mental health episode. Doesn't mean she has other problems.
Well,
every other day.
Yeah, every other day. Officials say the customer has been placed in Americans internal refused list pending investigation. So she's been banned from this flight. So I mean, mind your P's and Q's. If you have a problem with it, and think about it. Think about the way the nation is and how brainwashed, no matter what side you are on as far as this whole pandemic, whether you're against it, whether you're for it, you've seen people yelling about put your mask on, not put your mask on, and now we're out in public, and she's probably freaking out, and she's got gear spinning in her head. I'm on a plane with all these people, and I'm worried about COVID-19 and the new strain that's coming out, and she's panicking. She's sucking it in and breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and she can't in her mind, get control of herself.
The key word is she. They're all crazy.
No, Dan, come on. You got to be nice. I mean, because the one guy who was 74 years old, he's like, fuck it, you can have my bag. It's got a bomb in it. Fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I mean, he's crazy too. So both sides of the fence. But I mean, still. Oh, Jesus. All right, when we come back, Dan, you like to play with toys.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever think that now do you own fire weapons or firearms? You own firearms, right?
I have a rifle.
Now there's people out there right now, or companies out there right now, that are turning the most common items into actual firearms. And I think these things would pass if they go through an airplane checkout. I really would. If you watch this video that we're going to post here in a few minutes, you'll see how likely they are to pass through the checkout. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
It should be interesting to see that. So, I mean, they can make them with 3D printers now. It's,
I know. I was trying to figure out how to
segue into it.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
Oh, happy.
Yeah, you happy to be home? Happy to be back in here in Charlotte with no problems on the airlines that you flew from Boston?
No, I'm happy to be here with you on the show.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Aw, Dan, thank you very much. I feel all squishy inside.
Yeah, I need extra money for saying that.
It'll be in your check. Now, earlier, Dan, on the up to speed with technology with IT Dan, you were talking about mapping out GPS and stuff in space. And so that's going to happen here, I guess, soon. Are they going to start doing that?
They're going to start they hope to have it finished in next year, but.
Now, are you familiar with the wobble that the Earth has? And they the North and South Pole, everyone thinks the Earth spins perfectly on a center axis, right?
Yeah, it goes off by a few degrees.
Few degrees this way and few degrees that way. Yeah. And every year, or it takes actually hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years just to even change 0.0001% of the axis of the planet as it's spinning. And then that's when they say, okay, here comes El Nino. Here comes, am I boring you over there?
No, just yawning.
Here comes El Nino. We're going to have a big weather season this year. We're going to have a light weather season this year. But nobody ever thinks about that little satellite that's flying around our planet called the moon. Now, the moon does the same exact thing. So a lot of people scientists say that the moon actually is what causes the waves in the ocean.
Yeah, the lunar pole.
The lunar pole. What is it, aluminum pole?
Lunar pole.
Oh. But now, scientists at NASA predict that the wobble of the moon, right now, the moon itself has a wobble to it, may lead to record flooding here in the United States. Every coast in the United States is facing rapid increase of high tides, floods that thanks to the wobble here in the moon's orbit, working in tandem with the climate change and fueling the sea levels. Dan, you want to read this section right here?
Yeah, a new study from NASA and the University of Hawaii, published recently in the journal Nature Climate Change, warns that the upcoming changes in the moon's orbit could lead to record flooding on Earth in the next decade. Through mapping the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration's season level rise scenarios, flooding thresholds, and astronomical cycles, researchers found flooding in America coastal cities could be multiple times worse in the 2030s when the next moon wobble is expected to begin. They expect the flooding to significantly damage infrastructure and displace communities.
So they're saying that we're going to have more monsoons, more tidal waves?
Higher waves, right now, because of the ice cap melting, we're already having record sea level different places, but it means we're going to have problems in
2030.
Yeah, but you're going to have problems in places like New Orleans or coastal properties.
Even Florida. Yeah. I mean, Florida's a flat land itself. Yeah. I mean, granted, for the most part, the water comes in, it drains right through Florida. It's a friggin' just a big sandbar is all Florida is.
Yeah, and I mean, it's my friend of mine got flooded out, and there was 42 inches of water in the Keys, 42 inches above ground level.
Oh, God, that's a lot. I mean, that's taller than you are.
Yeah.
Well,
not quite.
Close to it.
Yeah, that's it. Then I'll see you guys later. I quit.
Yeah. Now, Dan, you're a handyman. You got tools. You got everything going on it. You got a garage. You got an actual outbuilding that you built yourself from scratch. When I say from scratch, you didn't chop the trees down, but you bought the timber and everything.
That's correct.
Tell me more about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to build a workshop, and I've been saving up for it, but I wanted to make it a 2-part workshop. I wanted one part that was, I wanted one part to be just like a carport that was open and fresh air that I could work in, and then another part of it where I would roll all my tools in there, have all my tools, but I wanted to work outside in the fresh air.
Now, how big is your workshop, your tool area?
The tool area is 12 foot by 12 foot, but 10 foot high walls.
Now, why didn't you go? Did you want to go bigger, or you just want to?
I wanted to try to stay within a budget, and I wanted to go 12 by 12 so I didn't have to get permits. And then I found out the 12-foot high counts. I thought it was just the footprint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I have a 12-foot by 12-foot area underneath the carport to work in.
Do you wish it was bigger?
Yes. Yeah, you always do.
I've been to your house, and it matches completely. It looks really good with your house. It's almost the same decor as your house. And then you get into the little tool shed, and you're like going, well, I really can't work in the tool shed. It's just a tool shed. I got to bring everything out.
Yeah, and that's the whole idea behind it, is working outside. Where first of all, my eyesight is much better in daylight working, and I like the fresh air. I didn't want to be inside. I could have had it all closed in as one shop, and I wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah, you would have been. You never see daylight. Now, are you familiar with the toy company Legos?
Oh, yes, yeah. I've stepped on many a Lego block.
Have you really?
Yes.
Now, there's a company out there right now that is creating guns based on toys that we had or tools that we have in our everyday life. Now, for example, if you watch this video right here, go to profitradio.com, click on DeaconLive. Super fun. A gun covered in Legos looks just like a toy, sets off a big fury. Now, look at this gun right here. It is what they call a Block 19, which I'm going to say is short for Glock.
Yeah, I would say that.
All right, so the Glock handgun, easy on the equipment over there, Dan, was customized by Culper Precision, and the model appears to be Lego blocks all together. Read this for me right here, Dan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a company in Utah makes custom modifications to firearms. It debuted in what it called as a fun new product, a kit that encases Glock handguns and red, yellow, and blue Lego blocks, refashioning lethal weapons to look like children's toy. Yeah, nothing could go wrong there.
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, we have been building guns out of blocks for the last 30 years and wanted to flip the script to aggravate Mom, the Provo-based Culper Precision explained on its website. It went on to argue that personal defense is a right granted by God and that gun ownership is protected by the Constitution, before getting to the most important reason the company was selling Block 19, as the design was named, for $549 to $765.
So,
depending on the specifics.
Yeah, about $600, $700. You can have this gun that looks exactly like I'm sure there's a patent on the actual Lego blocks. I don't know if you can click stuff to it, because it's got all the little nipples, the little round nipples around the whole entire thing. It's got this little makeshift. I'm pointing with my finger here, but you can see this on the video.
Yeah, most of it does look like blocks.
It's a bright yellow gun with
I can picture a 3-year-old kid picking it up and aiming and shooting someone, thinking it's a toy.
Well, not only that, Dan. Think about this. Think about this. You've got this gun in a. I'm not putting any ideas in anyone's mind, but you've got this gun in a bag of Lego bricks. And you're carrying that bag. Oh, this is my son's Lego bricks. And this gun is hidden, and you're going to bring this on the plane. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, this is an airport thing?
No, what I'm saying is this gun could pass detection. Like if you have a whole bag of Lego bricks and this thing is mixed in with those Lego bricks, how are they supposed to tell the difference between that?
Yeah.
And a cup. If we see all these shootings of police officers shooting people, pedestrians and stuff, because they're pulling out a cell phone. No, he had a gun. Someone pulls out this thing right here. And the cop goes, "Oh, that's a Lego gun." Meanwhile, boom, the cop's dead.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
So if you want to see this, I'll post this on the DeaconLive section of Prophet Radio. Now, here's another one, Dan. What's your favorite drill, your cordless drill that you use?
I like rigid. But Makita's good. DeWalt's good.
I have a bunch of Ryobi drill bits, or Ryobi drills. And this company right here, they have designed this gun, almost the same sense, to look exactly like a Makita drill, cordless drill. And the barrel is shaped like an actual...
drill bit.
Like a drill bit. And I'm going to play this video here so everyone can see it. And this is the gun in action. Is there sound? Yep, there he goes. Now, it looks like a little 22. See that?
Yeah. Yeah, it does not look like a gun at all.
That looks exactly like a drill. Now, look, watch this little piece right here.
Yeah, it has to be 22 caliber or something. It's not high caliber.
No. Even the cartridge, the clip that you put on the bottom, looks like a drill battery. He puts a little clip right there. See the little battery on the bottom? Let's see if I can... There we go. Let's make this a little smaller. And it looks like he's shooting a drill. It looks like a freaking drill. And let's see if I can show that that battery one more time. Look at the clip. Changes that to something. I don't know what that something is.
Oh, he changed it from single shot to automatic.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to have an automatic rifle or
semi-automatic.
All right, see, look right there. Hold on, let me backtrack a little bit. Right there. What does that clip look like?
Yeah, it looks like something would hold.
It looks like the battery of a Makita drill bit.
Yeah, down the bottom.
Yeah, down at the bottom, and that's the clip that goes inside the gun. So if they're if they're manufacturing this, there's got to be something out there. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah,
Dan, that's very scary.
And,
now, I'm all about
and police officers too. It's scary.
And I'm all about each to his own. Have your own arms and protect yourself and yada yada yada. Second Amendment and all that stuff. We have the right to bear arms. But when you start making guns like this, then there's got to be a problem. There's got to be something set in. I don't know.
Yeah, and I can just see a lot of children being killed with these. You know what I mean?
No, they're not mass producing them, granted. This is just for the collector guy. But if the collector guy has any kids in the house, then of course, let's say they make only 1,000 of those guns, a year. And they charge, a premium price, $1,100. Hey, look what I got. I got a Makita, looking gun. But what about little Timmy? Well, he's not going to play with this because this is a tool. This is a man's tool. But same thing with the Lego gun. Hey, I've got this. And I put it up on the nightstand, and little Timmy comes in and goes, oh, that's part of this will fit with my Legos, my space Legos, and start clicking it together, and all of a sudden he clicks and fires his brains out.
I think we're going to scare off some of our customers. They're going to be listening and say, gee, I'm not going to go out of my house. We have the guns, we have the stuff going on the airport, and how many weeks have we talked about sharks?
I don't know, probably just about every week. You know what? If there's a Subway story, we're talking about sharks.
Okay. Now sharks, there's been 36 sharks attacks in the United States last year.
And where were most of them?
And 3 of them were fatal. California, Hawaii, and Maine, but there were 23 shark attacks in Florida.
Where at?
Yeah.
Ponce Inlet.
Well, Florida. But do you know what the deadliest animal is? There's only been 3 fatalities with sharks.
Right.
So what do you think is the deadliest animal in America?
Is it an animal, or is it a mammal, or is it an insect?
No, it's a regular animal.
Animal.
It's not an insect.
Not an insect.
It's not a fish or anything like that.
Is it a bear?
No.
Is it native? We're going to play 20 questions here. Is it native to? Of course, it's native to.
You have them around here in your neighborhood.
Do we really?
Yeah, you see them.
Chickens.
No, but very close. It's deer.
No,
deer, little Bambi deer are the deadliest animal in America. They caused 200 human deaths and 30,000 injuries just last year colliding with cars.
Now, hold on. That's secondary. They're not out there. They're not deer hunting down humans and killing them.
You drive down the road, 200 people died from deers being there.
Well, 200 people die from shitty potholes and stuff too. So we're going to say potholes are the next thing.
Yeah. Well, they're going to legalize potholes as long as when they legalize pot.
I understand that too, because my wife hit a deer going like 35 miles an hour and it completely destroyed the front of her car, which is crazy. But anyway, so there you go. Yep, deer. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that, Dan. They're not hunting us, but at least they're out to get us. All right, when we come back, have you ever been bowling, Dan?
No, I'm not.
You've never been bowling in your whole entire life?
I bowled a couple times in my life, but I'm not good at it. So.
Well, next segment, we're going to talk about the weird and unique that's happened here in the last week or so. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I got to remember that because that's cool.
Yeah, you have to tell Amy that. So. Yeah, we had a lot of crashes, and I hit a deer in New Hampshire once.
We talked about the...
I've seen people come in with the whole stack of cards that they play, and this woman came in and the woman had just sit there and run card after card through the machine.
Oh yeah,
and it was like $85 at the end of it and stuff.
Well, yeah. Amy, she likes to buy it's $300 no matter what you do. Yeah. Go down to the lotto office in Charlotte and buy the first Tuesday every month. Buy the $2, $5, and the $10, and do the math. It's $300 no matter what the pack is. So if you have the $200 or the $2 one, it's 150 tickets. If it's the $5 one, it's whatever the amount is, and so on and so forth. And she'll sit there and we'll put them out on the table. We haven't done it in a while. We'll put it out on the table, and we'll break it because they come in just like at the store. They're all accordion. So I'll rip them all up and put them in stacks. And at breakfast, she'll sit there and scratch. I said, only 5 a day. 5 a day. Because she'll sit there and scratch all day long.
But does she scratch all the numbers off and looks at them to see what you want?
Yeah.
Okay. See,
she does all that.
See, there's a barcode at the bottom. I scan that and I hit it with my phone and it tells me what you did. But I guess because
it's the excitement.
Yeah, it's the excitement.
She likes the excitement.
Yeah. And it is like, in a lot of ways, it's like fast forward to the end of the movie and said, oh, the butler did it. Yes.
It's funny because the other night I said something to her. I said, I said, we still haven't deposited Dan's money, for the truck. I said, it's still sitting up on top of the refrigerator. I said, do you want me to go down and buy the lottery tickets? This is this past Tuesday. She's like, yeah. Oh, go tomorrow. I'm like, no, it's too late, babe. It's Wednesday. You got to get them on the first Tuesday when all the new stuff comes out.
So you're going to gamble away all my money?
No. No. Just $900.
Yeah, okay. Is it 900 for that?
Well, yeah. If you buy a pack of $2, it's always $300, no matter what pack you get. So if you get the $1 tickets, it's every pack is $300. It's just divisible by how many are in the pack. So you get Dan.
Yep.
Focus. If I get the $10 tickets, there's only 30 tickets in that pack.
Okay.
If you get the $5 one, there's whatever in that, and so on and so forth.
I mean, I think the more you spend on them, I made my money on the 30. I made my money on the $30 tickets whenever I won anything. 500, 1,000.
Are you gonna do the cash free thing? The one that
yeah, I'm gonna look into it and stuff like that.
Do a spreadsheet first, and watch the numbers pop up.
Yeah, I might try something like
that.
You
got to do it for a full week, though.
Yeah,
it's not a one-time hit thing.
No, I know that.
But sometimes there was one time that I actually hit like $500 and only spent $20 for the day. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then what you have to do, Dan?
Yeah.
See, there's another step. You have to, again, put the awning.
Yes.
Do you need some coffee?
I'm gonna have some after this.
You bank it. So what you do is you bank that money.
Yeah.
Bank that money and only pull out what you need for the next day or the next week. And then whatever you win, you just keep banking it and keep banking it. Don't buy more, don't buy less. Just stay with that whole plan and keep going on with that.
And keep track of what you spent and what you made. Yes.
Yeah. It takes a full year, and the way I figured it out, if you do it a full year, you'll have about, I think it's $3,000 to $4,000 at the end of the year, and then you switch over to the cash 4, which is almost the same thing, but it's a little bit more money invested. Don't stop yawning, Dan.
You're so interesting, though.
I know I am.
No, I have a certain time in the afternoon where I hit a spot in there.
If there's a Pepsi Zero Mango out there if you want it.
No, I have I have my coffee down in the truck.
Well, why don't you get it now?
I could, but then you can yell at me for slurping.
Just don't do this on the microphone. Was
I doing something? Okay, try not to get written up again.
Tired of getting written up.
I have to drink my coffee between like 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. If I drink my coffee at 5, I'll go to sleep fine, but then I'll wake up at like 2:15 and I'll be up all.
Is that hot or cold?
Hot.
Is it still hot?
Yeah, it's insulated.
Now, is it black coffee or just...
I have some almond milk in it.
That's it? Just almond milk?
Yeah. I sacrifice a little taste for health. I have, my wife has like vanilla creamer or 80 calories.
Oh, I smell it. That smells like hot coffee. All right. Bring the mic up to your nose so you don't talk over it. There you go.
Don't hit the mic.
Don't hit the
mic. I heard what happened to that guy.
He's no longer here. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm going to shock you with a bunch of stuff. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every show that we do, we have a matching video as well. And also, all the musical guests, the artists that you hear on Deacon Live, they support Deacon Live, and we would appreciate it if you guys support them as well. They are unsigned artists, independent artists that you hear, and make sure you support them as well. And the way you do that is go to profitradio.com, and you can see all their little icons, their little logos, and all that stuff. Dan, you've been listening to the show for a while.
Yeah, I found some new artists that I really think are pretty good.
And it's amazing how much production goes into all these bands. And you're like going, why aren't these guys signed? Why aren't they, making millions? A lot of them can be on top 40 radio stations at any given time, whether it be R&B, country, blues, or anything like that. These bands or artists are just crazy. They're crazy, insane, talented.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
There you go. All right. Being impressed is the All-Star Game, and this is a weird transition here. We were talking about guns and the Lego guns and the Makita gun. And we had the Major League Baseball. Are you a Major League Baseball fan, Dan?
I used to watch baseball a lot, but it's a great game.
All right. So we had the All-Star Game here where'd they have the All-Star Game?
They had it in Denver.
Denver?
Yeah.
Now, one of 4 suspects were arrested last week at the Denver hotel near the Major League Baseball Stadium, slated to host the this week's All-Star Game, and the extended stay room. They asked to be moved from the regular room to a balcony. And, of course, here comes all the music. So these people were 4 people were staying in the extended stay hotel. You know what an extended stay is,
yes.
Right? It's like a week long, I got nowhere else.
Cheaper rate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we want to be moved to a balcony. And they said, okay, sure. And they said, no, not just a regular balcony, a balcony overlooking the All-Star Stadium where the games are going to be held. And when they did that, read this section right here for me.
Yeah, the 4 were arrested Friday after a maid at the Maven Hotel saw firearms and gun components inside a room and notified a supervisor. The hotel sits near Coors Field, which will host Tuesday night's All-Star Game after the event was relocated from Atlanta earlier this year over Georgia's voting rights law. Hotel employees looked up the vehicle associated with the rent of the room and found a Mercedes with an Ohio license plate. A ballistic vest and duty belt were visible from the outside. according to a police probable cause statement.
So this is almost what was going to be, quote unquote, what happened in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas shooting at the Country Western show.
Yeah, they were going to try something like that.
They were going to try something like that at the All-Star game. And one of the hotel maids said, hey, look, there's a lot of weaponry. There's a lot of things going on. The manager said in person who rented one of these rooms, Ricardo Rodriguez requested extend his stay by several days and asked to be moved to a room with a balcony overlooking the alleyway.
Yeah. It should be noticed that, this information was concerning to officers due to location of the rifle, the ballistic vest, and requesting a room with a balcony, coupled with the fact that the 2020-2021 Major League Baseball All-Star games are happening in the immediate area of the hotel. This is a propensity for mass casualty.
So they had almost like a kill zone, and then sure enough, the heroism of a maid and all the everyone.
And someone just being alert.
Yeah, just someone being alert. Yeah. Not like the guy that or the hotel that actually helped the guy carry up. I'm not going to say his name in Las Vegas. Carry up all his duffel bags through the freight elevators and put him in his room, and then say, "Okay, see you later, sir. I'd like a tip."
Yeah, and it's crazy. And they were political. A lot of these people were angry that because of voting rights, they moved, the new legislation. I don't like to get into politics here,
right.
But they're angry because
I had no idea that was the reason why they moved the.
Yeah, they moved the All-Star game from Atlanta. Major League Baseball, said we want fairness for everyone voting, and they said, you guys aren't playing fair. We're going to move the game to Colorado.
So do you think these people were part of the Georgia thing? I don't know.
I think they were mad at it. They had either political or racial.
Well, they captured all four of them and stopped the whole mass shooting and stuff that would have happened.
Which is a great. There's too many of those every week as it is.
And we haven't. I don't want to say we haven't had a good one in a while, but we haven't seen anything happen in a while. I mean, there's two or three. There's one guy who got out of jail who was shot in the face like 65 times. There's a couple rap artists that are being shot and killed left and right in their cars while they're doing Instagram photos or Instagram Live. Those are just one-off things, but there's not like a whole lot of mass shootings that I've seen recently as far as like we don't like Target. Bang, 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 bang. Let's kill Target.
Yeah, well, 370 people have died in mass shootings, and it's just, it's just a lie. That's halfway.
Now we were talking about the wobbling of the moon. And Dan, do you have a microscope, or not a microscope, a telescope?
No, I don't.
Are you big on taking selfies?
No, but I can see the moon from my house.
Can you really?
Yes.
And you don't have a telescope to look at anything, do you?
No, I don't. I had one when we were in Vermont. We had all the stars, but I never used it.
My wife bought me one. The Canon on it's about 8 inches in diameter, and you have to put your phone in there just right. It allows you to put your phone in it to take to line up the camera, and then you hit the little button, and it takes a picture.
And with all the darkness, it comes out good.
We haven't had the patience to do it. We've seen it.
It's one button. You press click.
No.
Picture.
It's like lining up a. I don't know how to explain it.
Lining up a putt at a golf tournament?
It's crazy. You got the moon over there, and you got this little magnifier thing, and you move like 1 millimeter to the left, all of a sudden the moon's out of the picture, and you got to sit there and concentrate. And don't forget, the Earth is spinning at the same time. What a crazy philosophy that is. You get it lined up. If you're not sitting there and you take the picture right away, the moon's already out of frame because the Earth is spinning.
Have you ever tried it? Before you drank all your beers?
Well, no. That would be Dan. That would be stupid. Now, speaking of being stupid, over 70 people have reportedly died in India after lightning strikes. Now, Florida, for those of you who don't know, Florida is the lightning capital of the world. We're proud of that. Now, we don't have as many deaths as far as lightning strikes, but over in India, 70 people have reported died in India, including 11 taking selfies on a tourist attraction. Now, a lightning strike in, what is this city right here? Haipur?
Yeah.
Is a friend of yours?
Yes.
You know that place? In northern India, killed 11 people as a tourist spot in
and Sunday. So that's one lightning strike.
Yeah,
killed
read that
11
for
people.
me. Okay. I got too many ads popping up and down. Read that for me,
Okay,
Dan.
a lightning strike in Haipur, a city in northern India, killed 11 people at a tourist spot on Sunday, in addition to causing injuries to many others, the Washington Post reports. 18 people have died from similar strikes in the northwest Indian state of Rajasthan on Sunday. 76 people have died already this year because of lightning strikes. They took selfies in the rain on top of the watchtower, which is a popular attraction known as Amber Fort. In an average year, lightning strikes kill about 2,000 people from India. They have a country's monsoon season, which brings heavy rain, typically from June to September.
So what's going to happen is they're going to get a lot more monsoons and rains with the whole moon wobble and stuff. And so what they're going out there is they're going out on this big tower, and they're like saying cheese, and then all of a sudden they're freaking fried mozzarellas.
And there's a lot of people in India that have taken selfies and fallen backwards off of cliffs. I've seen that also.
Have you really?
Yes.
So there you go. I mean, if you want to stay away from that, at the time of the incident occurred, there were 27 people at the location, which was being reported that some jumped to the ground when the lightning hits and stuff. So there you go. Read this right here.
Yeah, and lightning struck around 6:30 p.m. with rescue operations carrying on until 7 a.m. on Monday morning. There was a tower there when the lightning struck. The tower's wall collapsed. Many people were buried under it. Since the fort is on a hill, when the debris was falling and space reduced, some people also fell into a ditch.
So there you go. I mean, it's almost like the one condominium complex in Miami where everything fell down and like pancaked on itself in Florida.
Yeah, and that's still a disaster. I feel awful for everyone involved in that, and the rescuers even maybe more so.
Well, maybe they should bar this place in India for people going up there on this tower and trying to take selfies to get like the Instagram likes. Hey, look, hey y'all, I'm here from I'm the deacon from North Carolina, and I'm here. Woo, we're having a good time and taking a picture. And all of a sudden, zap, you're gone.
Yeah, well, they try to bar people. Then the people putting up the fences around there will get hit by the lightning. So
that's horrible.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we'll let you get back to what you got to do. I got a couple more weird and unique stories, and then we'll wrap up the program. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Excuse me.
Good one.
Yeah, I know. Hope you can cut that out.
I'll try.
Yep.
What's your name again?
Yeah, there's 350% more than the same point a year ago as far as mass shootings. It's crazy. When we were in, we had the wide open field, and we're on top of the mountain, and we could see some lightning. Sometimes the lightning storms were incredible. You had a big 10-foot tall window that we'd look out, and you could see it come down, hit the tree, and see like all the smoke coming out and stuff like that.
Well, we had lightning hit one of the trees back here. It's still split where it hit. Not that I went out there and fixed it or anything. All right, here we go.
What do you want to go to?
We're going to talk about video games and tons of balls and then ice cream and wrap this up.
Sharp as a bowling ball.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I got to find the stories. Ice cream. Balls.
My grandmother had a bowling alley in her house in Maine. We'd get on there.
Hold on to it.
It wasn't that interesting.
No, that's interesting though.
93,000 Americans died from drug overdoses last year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah. That's up 30% from the year before.
Killing it.
Your listeners are going to be afraid to go out of the house, and then what's going to happen? They're all going to sit there and go, I need more Deacon. I'm home all alone all day long. I can't go out. Yeah.
I know I got a lot of trucker friends that play the show while they're trucking across the world. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over on my far right-hand side, we have IT Dan.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon.
For those of you who like to follow us, make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contacts, and we'll send you some free stuff. Dan's got a whole bunch of stack of stickers. His tongue is raw from licking the envelopes from the last section or the last batch that we threw out there.
Yeah, I was a little woozy after that.
So we sent out about 230, and if you haven't gotten it here soon, don't worry, your batch is coming as well. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, click on the free swag section, and we'll send you out some free stickers and all that stuff. Now, Dan, you play video games.
Yes.
Now, what console do you have?
Oh, right now I have the PlayStation 4.
Now, have you had any other consoles before that?
Well, when we first got married, we got the very first Pong console where it had a wire.
Now, hold on. What year was that?
That was 1974.
Okay.
And the first video game that was available to us was like $129. It had two cords that were about 5 feet long, so you couldn't even be comfortable. And you just had a slide button, and all it did is play that one Pong game. But, I went to the Atari 2600 after that.
From my understanding, I think there was different variations of the Pong game. You could play like set A or set B, where you could have two things, I think.
This one just had one.
Oh, you got the cheap version.
Yeah, this is, when we got it when it first came out, so.
All right, and what was the next one that you had?
Then we had the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, ColecoVision.
You had those. Those are competing. You were rich enough to have both of them?
Yeah. Well, we didn't have any kids, so we could splurge on them.
Are you familiar with the Nintendo 64?
Yeah, I did have the Nintendo 64.
Do you still have it laying around?
No.
Well, I'm sorry to say, if you still had it in mint condition, yesterday, a sealed copy of the Super Mario 64 with a whatever rating just sold for a staggering $1.56 million. Almost double worth of the previous record held for the world's most expensive video game, which was set 2 years prior. Now,
I can't understand someone's paying that much money.
Well, here you go. Read this section right here. Maybe it'll help you out.
Yeah, on Friday, the earliest sealed copy one could realistically hope to obtain of The Legend of Zelda went for NES, Nintendo Electronic System, for an impressive $870,000. The cultural significance of this title and its importance to the history of video games is paramount, and the condition of this copy is just so breathtaking that we're really at a loss here. Read here at an auction description for the copy of the Nintendo 64 Classic. While we can honestly concede that, yes, a mint condition in-box Super Mario 64 is certainly an impressive find, our wind was knocked out more by the $1.5 million price tag doled out for this piece of video game history.
Now, let me explain something to you. My wife she got on like this little kick, and she bought, you ever seen the mini consoles?
Yes.
It's got like 30 games on it. She bought the mini console for Sega Genesis. It's got like 30 games on it. She bought the regular Nintendo that's got like 30, 35 games on it. She bought the Super NES that's got, 50 games on it. But all the games are like the B-rated games and the C-rated games. They trick you to get you in. They got like 1 or 2 A-rated games. But, she can still play these games. We can crack the code. I might have you crack the code for me a couple times so you can do that. But, I mean, Super Mario 64, I guess I played it at the store. And from my recollection, it was more of a 3D map. Like you could run and jump on hills and mountains and stuff.
Yeah, and then I played them, but it wasn't that. I think I liked the Intellivision games, even though the graphics were awful in it. They were blocky. But the game itself was challenging and fun, and that was the main thing behind it. And I had Amiga games like Earl Weaver Baseball.
Oh, all right.
And the Olympics, Winter and Summer Olympics.
Now, in your yard, it's the summertime. We're running out there. I had a pole saw. Dan was supposed to bring a pole saw over for me, and he didn't last week, so I had to go out and buy one.
I brought it this week.
I know you brought it this week, but it's a day late and $1 short.
Yeah.
So I just want to trim all the branches and stuff that are like hanging on the house and hanging all that stuff. Now, it's home improvement. It's that time of year because in probably like 4 months we're gonna start getting snow and rain, or just like
it'll get colder.
It'll get colder, and you don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside now. It's freaking hot out, and the people up in the Northwest they don't want to go outside at all. It's 130 degrees. So this gentleman right here in North Shores, Michigan, what do people do with old bowling balls? Now, Dan, do you go bowling, or have you gone bowling before?
Yeah, well, I've gone bowling, a few times, bowling alleys, probably once every 10 years.
Have you ever had your own bowling ball?
No, I haven't had my own bowling ball, but when we were in Maine visiting my grandmother's house, we went to her house, and downstairs in her basement, she had a 4-lane bowling alley.
Did she really?
Yes, but it was covered with dust. It hadn't been used probably 25 years, and we spent one whole day moving all the trash and boxes over, and we freed up 2 bowling lanes, and then, we had to sweep up all the dust and then, mop them down, and we got free bowling for a couple of days.
Now, are they duck pins, or was it a full-length bowling alley?
Full-length bowling alley.
And it had the ball return?
Yeah. You had the ball return, but you had to set the pins up yourself. It was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you had to have like a cousin down there that didn't. The retarded cousin down there. Put him in line, Timmy.
Yeah, but
Timmy's getting a hard rap on this show.
I do have an interesting bowling. There's a place called Sammy White's in Brighton, Mass., which is still available, bowling alley. And a friend of mine worked there when he was a kid, and they would set up pins, and I think they'd get a nickel for setting up a whole. Bunch of pins, or nickel a whole day or something.
They call it each
nothing.
Frame, Dan.
Yes,
each frame.
Yep. And they were there, and Babe Ruth was there, and Babe Ruth was a big hulking guy, the baseball player, and he was bowling, and he hit a strike and knocked pins because he was so strong. He knocked pins everywhere.
Well, he was drunk and on cocaine at the same time. So
no, I don't think he had coke back then. He did drink, and one of the pins came flying and hit one of the kids. They hide up behind the bowling, hit one of the kids in the head and cut his head, just something small cut on his forehead.
Dead.
Babe Ruth went and gave the kid a $10 bill, and that was like 2 years' pay for those kids.
Oh, really?
And, he was walking around like he probably never even seen a $10 bill before.
Probably going.
So it's kind of interesting story. Yeah.
Kid was probably in daze. He had a concussion. He's like, "Oh, why is this guy handing me this money?"
Yeah, he said, but they said he was such a big, tall athlete.
How big was Babe Ruth? Was he taller than me? Because I'm a big guy.
He's probably about your size for someone back then. That was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I could kick his ass.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's dead. You could probably kick his ass.
I know.
Yeah, it would probably be close though.
But why did your grandmother have a bowling alley downstairs?
Well, the building she had was right in the center of town, and it was a house on top. It had a store on the other side.
So
had
it was
the bowling alley down in the basement.
It was a establishment and a
residence.
A residence, yeah. Kind of like Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, and that was something she had bought that and. I don't think the bowling alley enters. She just bought the house because she got a good deal on it.
Is it still there or no?
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it?
Stockholm, Maine. Yeah.
Oh, really? And do you know the name of it?
No, I do not know. It was like a community building or something like that. So.
But that's interesting. The last time I think, what was it, Nixon that put in a bowling alley in the White House? He had 2 lanes or something in the White House?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think Nixon had, look it up. Who had a bowling lane in the White House? I think Nixon put 2 lanes in. If it wasn't Nixon, I think it was Ford. But Ford wouldn't have done that because he's a pussy. I know I'm getting into politics here. But I think they had a bowling alley. It might have been... waiting.
Oh, okay. Harry S. Truman. 1947.
He had how many lanes?
2 lanes.
2 lanes. And he bowled in the White House. In the basement, though.
Yeah, I can think of 100 different things that I see President Bush was bowling there, too. So.
But the lanes were still there. So Harry S. Truman in 1942?
1947.
So 47. After World War II, he said, you know what? Let's relax. Let's put some lanes in here. Let's have some cognac and throw some balls down the lane.
Yeah, I mean, all the things I could put in my house I don't think bowling alley would be one of them, that's all.
Well, speaking of having balls in your house, In Northern Shore, Michigan, what do people do with old bowling balls? One homeowner discovered what a previous property owner did with his or hers. They buried them. David Olson didn't find just one or two bowling balls buried in his property on North Shore in Norton Shore, Michigan. Dan, read this one.
Yeah, he was working. He was working. It's hard to see that the printing the way they did.
I know.
He was working on knocking down some back steps at his home, and a single black sphere buried under cinder blocks caught his eye.
So here's the actual picture right here, and there's a whole bunch of bowling balls right here.
Oh, okay. And that was one of the bowling balls. I didn't think a lot about it. He said I was kind of assuming there was just a couple in there to fill in. The deeper I got, the more I realized there was basically an entire gridwork of them making up the weight in there. He uncovered 160 Brunswick bowling balls that had been buried. Many of the bowling balls didn't have holes drilled in for finger holes and weren't even polished. But some did have the Brunswick logo and names like Black Beauty or Starline engraved on them. So I think what happened was someone was doing steps, they needed fill, and someone said, hey, I have all these bowling balls, let's just throw them all in there.
So actually what happened, Brunswick bowling ball production was based in that town in 1906. And then they moved it to Mexico later on in the year. So what happened was Brunswick also made toilet seats, and they also made a whole bunch of other things. And so at that time, if you worked for a company and there was stuff that couldn't be sold to the public, you were allowed to take it home. So this gentleman here, I guess whoever owned the house before, said, I've got 200 and some odd bowling balls. Hey, what do you want to do with them? I'll take them home. I got some land to fill.
Yeah, when you're trucking, and they were probably ones that wobbled like the moon.
Right, they actually wobbled like the moon. All right, one more thing before I let you go. Dan, are you a big ice cream eater?
I like ice cream every once in a while. No, I'm not that big an ice cream eater.
No? If you had ice cream, what was the one favorite? I was trying to tell my wife.
Maple walnut.
Maple walnut, and that's only available up north.
Yeah, we did see it once at Hood Ice Cream had some in Food Lion.
And did you buy it or not buy it?
Oh, Kathy bought it. She saw it and brought it home to me, and it was great.
Oh, really? Now, are you familiar with Kraft? Kraft macaroni and cheese, Kraft whatever. Food products.
Yeah, it's not something I eat very often, but I am familiar with it. So.
All right. Are you familiar with what is it? Lewin? What's this company right here?
Ooh, no, I'm not sure.
It looks like a German company.
Van Leeuwen, yeah, I would say.
Leeuwen. Kraft has now collaborated with Van Leeuwen to serve up macaroni and cheese flavored ice cream. And they got a little promotion video right here. And for those of you who want to watch this video, go to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive, and we'll play this video right here. I'll pray it too. Not with this guy. See? Subway.
Style oven roasted turkey and
that's a new steak and cheese.
Oh yeah, I knew that. That's the one with the new seasoning.
And that was the new MVP Parmesan vinaigrette.
Right, which makes a next level foot. Hold up, the Subway logo? Wait, I'm out of time.
And finally, a new kind of ice cream just for mac and cheese lovers.
Yeah, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese is launching a limited edition ice cream in partnership with Van Leeuwen Ice Cream. Yeah.
I think I'd rather get hit by lightning in India. I'm just...
Really?
Yeah.
What do you get when the National Macaroni and Cheese Day falls in the middle of the National Ice Cream Month? A flavor collaboration with two very different comfort foods.
Yeah, that's just gross. That's just gross.
Read that for me.
For the first time ever, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese will launch a limited edition ice cream in partnership with Brooklyn-based Van Leeuwen Ice Cream, the cult favorite brand known for making decadent and delicious ice cream and vegan ice cream with just a few ingredients. The soft orange hue makes the iconic elbow-shaped pasta pop is made with paprika, anota, and turmeric, according to Kraft, after the brand removed artificial flavors, preservative, and dyes from the recipe in 2016.
So they're going back to the exact recipe. It's I don't know. When I think ice cream, I don't think
macaroni and cheese.
I don't think macaroni and cheese. No. There's a lot of companies out there that are like doing fish taco ice creams, which is crazy in itself. When I think ice cream, I want something sweet. I don't think of
give me vanilla or strawberry.
But there's people out there that get like the Wendy's fries and dip them in the Frosties, and they like that sweet and salty. So I don't know how they're going to do that. So that's Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll go over to McDonald's and get the apple pie, 2 apple pies. Then I drive over to Wendy's and get the smoothies. And, it's kind of like apple pie and ice cream you can have.
I know. It's a mess out there. All right. On behalf of you guys listening to us, on behalf of myself and IT Dan.
Yes. Have a nice night. Thank you.
My name is the Deacon saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait. Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Okay, say bye to the cameras.
Yep. Hey, bye. It's been a great day.